This is good news. Princess Kate Middleton has revealed that she is in remission after completing chemotherapy for cancer. The royals shared the big news in a post to social media, sharing her gratitude for the care that she received at the Royal Marsden Hospital. She said, my heartfelt thanks goes to all those who have quietly walked alongside William and me as we've navigated everything. It is a relief to now be in remission, and I remain focused on recovery. As anyone who's experienced a cancer diagnosis will know, it takes time to adjust to a new normal. I am, however, looking forward to fulfilling my year ahead.
She was at a hospital yesterday, and she was talking to survivors. And, man, she's terrific. They've never specified exactly what she had.
Yeah. So she revealed that she was battling cancer in March last year, signed off her health update this week with a positive outlook, sharing there is so much to look forward to. Thank you to everyone for your continued support. Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster are far from shy about their friends to lovers romance after confirming their relationship this month by being seen together. They were spotted in San Fernando, California, sharing an intimate kiss goodbye in a parking garage.
And then, so later on, he was pounding her from behind in a parking lot.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Relationship rumors have plagued the couple since they started The Music Man on Broadway from 2021 to 2023, and they brushed off the gossip saying when they were just good friends. Casey, did you see her perform as well in Music Man?
Yeah, those together. And at the time, I think I didn't realize what a juggernaut and what a Broadway superstar she was.
Was she the one that filled in? And then you said you...
No, she was... She was
the main?
She was, like top billing. Hugh Jackman, Sutton Foster.
Okay.
And it's so funny. I mean, they're such great actors that, when they fall in love, who knows? Maybe it wasn't acting for them. You know what I mean?
You know what they're dealing with now, though, Preston? Hugh Jackman's now ex-wife, I assume ex-wife now. She was friends with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And so there's this dynamic now.
Yeah, when couples split up, it can get a little bit weird.
Yeah,
it got weird. Didn't it?
Weird.
As far as how you interact with the people that you share as friends and other couples and so on. So they're going to have that in their lives as well. Speaking of Blake Lively, the legal battle between her and Justin Baldoni and others has gotten bigger. Baldoni's lawyer has reportedly sent a letter to Disney and Marvel alleging that Ryan Reynolds mocked Baldoni in Deadpool and Wolverine with his nice pool character. We've talked about this. The letter from Baldoni's lawyer states that they have anticipated claims against Reynolds and others and tells Disney and Marvel to preserve documents relating to the development of the nice pool character and all documents relating to or reflecting a deliberate attempt to mock, harass, ridicule, intimidate, or bully Baldoni through the character of Nice Pool. I think this is a total stretch.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Listen, now the lawsuits are flying so fast that Blake Lively accidentally sued herself. So, yes. I think what I was reading about this, and the idea is just to keep the lawsuits flying and hopefully to get people to settle and do all that. So.
But I mean, the reason that the thing I find super ridiculous is that the character that they're going after, that they say is some kind of parody of this guy. I don't think, if it is, and if it is a little nudge, a little nod here, I don't think it's obvious enough that the general public would look at this and go, oh my God, he's going after him.
You
know what I mean?
You have the right to parody someone.
Yeah. Yep. And there's jokes in there about, he says, where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator? And they think, they're accusing him of shooting that line right at him. But
unless you knew the minutia.
It's funny anyway. It would play as comedic even if you didn't know what was going on within this lawsuit.
And at the time it was being filmed, none of this was public knowledge.
Yeah. There's a pretty direct insult towards Ben Affleck when dealing with Jennifer Garner. They make fun of Affleck and Jennifer Garner like post-divorce or whatever. And it's a knowing thing or whatever. But it's just like...
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal. And they go after a lot of people in the movie. And most of those people aren't suing Disney and Marvel and Ryan Reynolds.
And a lot of the people they go after are actually in the movie.
Exactly. And they go after themselves. He goes after himself in that. So
does Hugh Jackman.
We'll see where this goes. So Aubrey Plaza is stepping away from Instagram, as you can imagine, following the death of her husband, Jeff Baena. As of yesterday, her Instagram page read, "Sorry, this page isn't available." This comes about a week after Plaza broke her silence on the passing of her husband. She made a statement that said, "This is an unimaginable tragedy. Please respect our privacy during this time." So she's clearly going to step out of the spotlight for a while.
Yeah, man.
So she can
horrible.
Have to deal with that. It's just terrible. There are plenty of stories coming out of California about people helping others as the wildfires rage on, and one that has more than one celebrity name attached to it involves Hillary Duff and Mandy Moore. Moore's brother-in-law, Griffin Goldsmith, revealed in an Instagram post that Moore, her husband Taylor Goldsmith, and their children August, Oscar, and Louise are all staying with Duff and her husband Matthew Coma after their home was leveled by the fire. He had said in a post, Goldman said, "They've taken care of my entire family from the moment this began. I'll never be able to thank them adequately. This is the kindest act any human could do for another, and they are the most beautiful, selfless people that we've ever known."
Yeah. You're seeing a lot of good stories like that. You know who's also getting, well, you may have it about Paris Hilton.
No.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of work with the animals that have been abandoned. And she's investing tons of time working at a local shelter, which is very cool.
And she's obviously donated a bunch of money, too.
Yeah.
So it's officially over for comedian Kathy Griffin and second husband Randy Bick.
Nothing is over!
A year after separating, the two settled their divorce in Los Angeles County Superior Court on Monday. And
this caught me off guard because I was surprised how little I cared.
Yeah, according to court documents, both seemed to be going their separate ways with little drama. A prenup was in place.
There you go.
No community property to split, and the couple waived spousal support.
She gets the tank, right?
They were married for 5 years. She gets the tank,
That's
yes.
weird.
Yeah.
I thought he would get the tank.
Yeah, she's the big tank enthusiast.
How's her health? Because she was pretty ill for.
She's doing well.
Yeah, I guess she's doing all
She
right.
had lung cancer.
Wow.
Also, real quick, how do you spell that dude's last name? Because you said Randy Bick. It's not like Bick, like the Bick lighter.
B-I-C-K?
Okay, no.
Bick is B-I-C, right?
B-I-C.
Or the lighters.
Keymouse.
So we told you the other day that Jessica Simpson and husband Eric Johnson were officially splitting. However, people that were paying close attention knew days before something was up. The 13-bathroom, 13,274 square foot property that the couple own in Hidden Hills. Let me say that again, 13 bathrooms.
So, and I saw this, and
It was first put on the market in September 2023.
I don't care how many people you have in a house. Is there any way, there's got to be bathrooms that are never used.
Sure.
Right?
13 of them?
13?
Yeah.
Or do you ever, like when you have some time off, do you make sure you crap in each one of
In
them?
each bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm going on tour.
Does it say how many bedrooms the house is?
It doesn't, Kath.
I'm just curious because, so a friend of mine who has, owns big homes like this, they put a bathroom in every bedroom. So like everyone, if they have company, everyone has their own bathroom. And then, yes, there's one like on the main floor. There's one in the basement. There's, one out by the pool. So, if you have these houses, I think a lot of them the bathrooms come with
houses
every
like that
bedroom.
But routinely, like in a home, it's the master bedroom that has a bathroom attached to it, right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Are you saying that this makes sense, Kathy?
What? Well, listen. I'm just saying, in their world, like that's what I noticed when I went into the first time I saw one of their like these beautiful vacation homes. I'm like, oh my god! No matter where you stay, you get your own bathroom.
Yeah, it's like a hotel room.
It's kind of nice, and then the ability to just know that at the drop of a hat you can go wipe.
Nick, and then the movie theater.
Of course.
They had two bathrooms, in case people need to go at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and probably can't go out to see the movies.
So the home was first put on market, like I said, September 2023, which is around the same time the Simpson moved to Nashville, but it was then removed August 2024. Saturday, the couple relisted the property just 2 days before announcing their split to the world, and they're asking for $17.9 million.
Maybe I can't do that, but I can certainly put a bucket in each room.
Yeah, you can do that.
Steve.
A chamber pot.
Right,
as they call it.
exactly.
Yeah, like there's technically then a bathroom in every bedroom.
Absolutely.
Yep. So you have a legendary leading man in Robert De Niro. And who do you put opposite that can hold their own? How about this? Robert De Niro. The actor is going to face off against himself in the upcoming crime drama called The Alto Nights.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did, yeah. So De Niro will star in the dual lead roles of real-life gangsters Vito Genovese and Frank Costello. The movie follows the two New York crime bosses as they go to war against each other. So
the script is written by the guy who wrote Goodfellas.
Yeah.
So that is promising. And Barry Levinson is the director.
I mean, the trailer, it looked pretty good. I don't know what you thought, Steve.
Very good.
Yeah.
My one issue is there's not a lot of variation between his vocal performance between each character.
Just a little
bit. They look differently, obviously. But, yeah.
The synopsis says, once the best of friends, petty jealousies, and a series of betrayals place them on a deadly collision course that will reshape the mafia and America forever.
Did you watch the scene where they go on the panty raid?
I didn't see that, no,
great,
but I can't wait.
Why not just
get another actor? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, because you have this. Look, it's a gimmick. It's like with the Irishman, they had the gimmick of the de-aging technology. So, and you can say things like, "How do you get an actor to equal Robert De Niro, or you get Robert De Niro again?"
Yeah. The movie features Cosmo Jarvis, Deborah Messing, and
I would have gone with Ted McGinley,
Catherine Narducci. Actually, Ted McGinley is pretty damn awesome in Shrinking.
In Shrinking, he's terrific.
This will hit theaters on March 21st, by the way. Ridley Scott has officially dropped his plans to direct a Bee Gees biopic after clashing with Paramount Pictures over production terms. The studio changed the goalposts, he told GQ, and he said, I said you can't do that, and they insisted. And I said, well, I'm going to warn you. I will walk because I will go on to the next movie. And he said they didn't believe me, and I did. And despite leaving the project, Scott remains captivated by the Bee Gees story, saying, I like the working class side. It's more about the gift than the luck, right? It's a fantastic story.
It is a great story, though he was fighting the studio because he wanted to include a chestburster scene, which made no sense.
No. The director, who has since moved on to make his next movie, The Dog Stars,
about the Keanu Reeves man?
No, I don't think so. Reflected on the negotiation with Paramount, saying, I was being asked to go too far. They didn't like my deal, so I said, I'll move on. I'm expensive, but I'm good, he says.
I'll tell you, for my money, that HBO documentary on the Bee Gees is just about as good as you can get.
Yeah. Yep.
It was terrific, and it was really heartbreaking at the end.
Yeah, it was a wonderful doc, for sure. So Edward Burns, the actor, has put together, and director, has put together another impressive ensemble cast for his latest film, which is called Millers in Marriage. The cast includes Burns, along with Gretchen Mol, Morena Baccarin, Benjamin Bratt, Minnie Driver, Juliana Margulies, Campbell Scott, Patrick Wilson, and others. The plot is as follows. 3 middle-aged married couples attempt to come to grips with universal questions about marriage and fidelity, professional success and failure, and the challenge of finding a second act.
It's basically cliffhanger.
So no superhero battles, no cliffhanger, no shootouts. Millers in Marriage is in theaters and on digital February 21st.
He had, out of the gate, he had a really good run, and then he was getting a lot of roles, like in Private Ryan and everything, and he kind of, I think, pulled back a bit. We had him in the studio. Do you remember, Case?
I do not.
Yeah.
I don't, because I think I left by the time he got there. It was a situation where they kept saying, we're 5 minutes away. We're 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it was a half hour later. And it was like, we're 2 minutes away. And they just kept pulling that crap, and I had to take off. So
you did.
I didn't get a chance to meet him, which is too bad, because I like him a lot. Before Private Ryan, because that's mainly what I know him from. What else was he in?
He directed and been in a number of indie movies.
I love She's the One and The Brothers McMullen. They're both fantastic movies. He wrote and directed them, and She's the One came out, and like it was right when Jennifer Aniston was starting to take off. But it's a really, I mean, it's of a time. It's a 90s kind of a rom-com, but I love it. It's a terrific movie, and it holds up.
All right, well, he's got this new
It's
one.
like cliffhanger.
So the Red Hot YouTuber Miss Rachel is bringing her toddler-friendly show to Netflix. The first 4 episodes, and more to come for Miss Rachel, will debut on January 27th. The popular YouTube show star, her name, by the way, is Rachel Accurso.
She's kind of like a. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, she's considered a YouTube star?
Yeah.
Wasn't she first TV?
I think only YouTube.
I think just YouTube, Kathy.
Oh, I thought she was TV, and then, or maybe not. Maybe the kids found her on YouTube. Maybe that's what
She's very Bob Rossian in her. Watching her is very Soothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
My nieces and nephew love her.
So she, alongside her husband, Aaron, they're on a YouTube channel with around 11 million subscribers and videos that have earned over 7 billion views.
Jesus Christ.
And much like the videos found on YouTube, the Netflix episodes will focus on speech and toddler learning, first words and milestones for babies, learning to read for preschoolers, and songs and nursery rhymes.
Who was the clock girl?
The clock
She would lay
girl.
down and make her body the hands of the clock.
Jenna Jameson?
Dude.
Steve!
No.
I remove the L.
Yep.
Nick,
I don't
you
know.
what I'm talking about?
Vaguely familiar, man. I can't remember.
Is this when you were a kid?
No. Like I would say maybe. I figured your kids maybe knew.
Big comfy couch?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think yes. Big comfy couch. Yes. She would do the clock. Anyway, she was a little more goofy than this girl,
Yes.
but they sort of like it's kind of. I related them and kind of thought they were a little bit
same
a
style?
little
Very
similar.
bubbly.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Is Nina from the Goodnight Show still a thing? Remember her?
I do. She was cute. Mm-hmm. We tried to, I think, have her on because it was produced locally.
Yeah, it was.
And they weren't
They're really
interested.
no, we're not going to do
Well, we have had
Nina.
many of the prominent kids stars, and
Yeah, but we got real creepy real fast with Nina.
We did.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think.
Well, we were talking about how her being attractive and stuff like
I
that.
wasn't
So they
familiar
didn't-
with
they didn't
Nina.
want-
Yeah,
I got a little.
Yeah,
creepy.
I actually used to.
Wait.
I used to do voiceovers at Center City Film and Video, and they had some of the props that were in there all the time for that show. And I
Nick,
would see
did you
that.
screw it up for Nina with us?
No. Promise it was
I
not.
have a
No
friend who
sugar
works-
teas?
So here's the thing. I have a friend who works at Sprout, and it wasn't as bad as Nick is portraying it to be. It's just that they had a brand, and we
Yeah.
we
No,
as
I
a
get
rock
it.
radio station, and everything did not fit
doing
that
sexy
brand.
calendars and
Right.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
We
get
were
it.
a cancer.
Did we ask her to be in the calendar? Is that what happened?
Maybe we
We did not.
Yeah.
We did not.
I think we.
How
harped
would you
a
like to
little-
make Little Sprouts bigger?
Yeah.
We just. Well, whatever. We talked about her appearance, and I think that kind of turned them off.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, Nina.
Let's see. One last time for one last story, and I think I will include this one. Critics' Choice Awards have been rescheduled again. The award show was supposed to take place on January 12th. It was postponed to the 26th because of the wildfires, and now that's been delayed once more. It will take place at some point in February. An official date is expected to be announced in the next coming days, and it's celebrating its 30th anniversary to be held at the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica. Live broadcast planned on E! And Chelsea Handler is going to be hosting that, so they're pushing that one back.
So I was reading an article in maybe the Hollywood Reporter, and they were talking about there are two camps concerning the Oscars. One believes that you put your best foot forward and carry on and put them on, and there's another that is saying they really think the Oscars should be canceled for this year.
Canceled?
Canceled. I
No.
think the only time they did that was World War II.
Right.
So I don't think that's the way to go.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, listen, obviously it's terrible and
Yeah.
people are suffering and it's now time to rebuild. And you can focus on multiple things at the same
Sure.
time. You can help and you can also live your life and enjoy some entertainment while these things are going on.
And I think in a way we can help because if certain people don't show up to collect their gift bags, we'll take them.
we'll take them.
Steve, what happened in 2020? I don't remember because that was like right at the beginning of the pandemic, wasn't it? Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Was it before the pandemic?
What was that? Another cancellation time?
I don't remember what happened.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, okay. So 2020, around March 13th is when everything shut down. So I don't know when the Oscars
Maybe it was right
usually
before
are.
that,
Yeah.
all the S hit the fan.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're ready for some clips here, folks. Each episode of the nature documentary series of Real Bugs Life captures a unique world of living micro bugs. And in this clip, Dr. Martha Holmes describes her post-production role as the executive producer.
I just come in the last steps of it in terms of hands-on, and it's crafting the stories and getting the very, very best story out of the material that the teams have captured. I really, really enjoy that. It's really collaborative, it's very creative, and it's fun.
Translation, boring.
Yeah, A Real Bugs Life Season 2 premieres tonight on Disney+. Next clip, O'Shea Jackson Jr. went hard for his fight scenes in Den of Thieves 2. And here, he recounts his mindset while executing his first fight scene with Gerard Butler.
My shoes come off while I'm kicking it. I had spit coming down your forearm. I was like, I'm going to be ugly as hell because I'm a wrestling fan. I know how to sell. So I was like, I'm going to sell the hell out of this. They're going to think I'm dying. And then afterwards, when you hear cut, crack a joke and make them laugh, let them know, like, no, I'm not phased, bro. Let's do it again.
I like him.
He's cool. He was here one time. Really nice guy. Den of Thieves 2. Pantera is now in theaters. All right, there you go. Entertainment report for today, Wednesday, January 15th. We have a secret text word today. We want to make sure you don't miss out on that because it's Metallica tickets.
Pretty big.
Yeah. May 23rd at the link. You can win these. Try to do it. Text the word secret to 39333. 2 different ways to do it. One, we will send a word back to you, and we'll ask you to call in later on. The designated caller wins those tickets. The other one is just set it and forget it. So you text over, and then we're going to randomly draw a pair. So you got a couple of shots at this. By the way, listen to Brent Porsche later today. He's going to have another chance to win if you miss out this morning.
Pretty cool.
But if you know a Metallica fan, wake their ass up. Get them to text in the word secret to 39333, and maybe they'll take you to the show if they win. Who knows? We also have an announcement to make. You know what? Let's take a break and come back with that.
All right.
All right. We have some news to share with you, and we don't want you to miss out on that. So we will return in just a moment with that and more. Stay with us. These ponds out there, and I've seen them out sunning themselves.
My wife
says
didn't believe me.
Count.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count. I want to see a giant one on the side of a. So we went to Rocco's Tacos one time, and there's like a giant lake behind there. And I went out, and it was at night. And my friend was saying, if you usually you can see their eyes like glistening in the night and stuff. I couldn't even see that. It was cold though. It was a little cold.
Yeah, it was a little chilly.
All right. So we have to get the rating 1 to 10 on the charcuterie baked board. What are you giving it?
That's a 15.
A 15!
That's a 15.
All right. Excellent.
Somebody get me a knife so I can cut the breed.
Well, listen, Drew, this is awesome to meet you in person.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you for having me.
And you're back in town from time to time, so we'll find a reason to hook up again, I'm sure.
Please, anytime. This was great.
And especially if...
do you all still say, hey, bitches?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
Hey, if you want to, go ahead, say it.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what?
and maybe if, maybe Monday Night Raw, you'll be back at home performing.
Philadelphia hasn't been announced yet for a tour, but I'm sure it'll be announced sometime in the near future.
That's awesome.
Usually once a year.
Yeah,
we
once or
get
twice.
it. So,
yeah,
excellent. Awesome. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming by, man. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
Let's hear it for Drew Goulet, guys. WWE wrestler, fan of the Preston and Steve Show, and a Philly hometown guy. I love it. Impossible Foods is now bringing more to the table. This time it's plant-based chicken nuggets.
I've had them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have? Because so have I, and they were the most disgusting things I've ever eaten in my life.
Well, then I've had different. So Hip City Veg has the best chicken nuggets I've ever tasted, and there's no chicken.
Okay, so this was sort of like, it looked like it was dark meat, but it wasn't meat. It was plant-based, and it had like a breading around it. It looked really good, and I was like, oh, I'll try this.
Right. Not good.
Like, what is this? What is this texture? What am I eating?
So they use
Plant or
seitan.
not?
I guess it is seitan, right? The often used for chicken substitute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and the Satan actually cooks them.
Wait till you try this.
But they're Casey. They're excellent. We actually put them out at a party.
Yeah.
And people had no idea.
So we have a vegetarian living in my house. My oldest is now a vegetarian, more pescatarian, but we have a lot of Impossible meat in our house now.
Right.
And we do the Impossible ground beef a lot, and it's damn good. You know,
I love it.
Yeah, my wife will make
and Preston's right in the it's not exactly, but the taste I like.
Yeah,
I like
good.
the Impossible taste.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily taste exactly like beef or pork or whatever it is they're trying to simulate, but whatever it tastes like tastes good to me.
Yeah, when you're making things like nachos, like my wife will make nachos for, the household, and she'll crumple up the Impossible burger meat or whatever on there. You can't tell the difference.
Dude,
not when it's got the cheese and the salsa and everything else with it.
I'm telling you, that Impossible cheesesteak from Wilson's
Unbelievable.
was fantastic.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't stop eating it. It was excellent.
Get me the biggest cheesesteak fan in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Sit them down and give them one of those.
And don't say, all right, tell me if this tastes like meat.
Right.
Just say, eat this, and does it taste good?
Yeah.
That's the difference. So somebody who is, a hardcore meat eater might say, this ain't no meat or whatever. No, just set that aside. Does it taste good or not? Okay, and because that cheesesteak at Wilson's Secret Sauce is fantastic.
And what was the ingredient? Was it seitan?
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think he uses Beyond or Impossible.
I'm not sure exactly what he uses.
I think it's Impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at what I had, and this restaurant changed, right? It was one healthier restaurant to the next, and they had chicken on it, and so they were called chicken. They were called chicken strips. Well, now they're just called strips, and so I ordered that thinking I was getting the chicken, and then realized, but it says plant-based, so it's a plant-based strip. It doesn't say exactly what's in it, but I'm assuming it's similar to what you're talking about.
Plant-based strips, Mommy.
So Impossible Foods is describing this as having a golden, crispy breadcrumb. Oh my God! I can't believe I said that.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm interested in your chicken strips.
Stop it.
What's that special ingredient again?
It's a little salty.
Breadcrumb.
Do you guys buy that? Because I just made some.
It's great.
Here's audio of the chef, Preston.
You're gonna be my regular size thing, baby.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
I think I like your reaction more than the actual flub itself. You're like, I just can't believe you just said that.
All right, having golden, crispy breadcrumb coating.
You're working in the kitchen today. Where's something low cut?
And a juicy and springy white meat texture. How was your weekend, Jackie Bam Bam?
Oh, good. How was yours, Press?
Very relaxing.
Right.
How about you? Did you relax?
I heard you tried on some jeans. I was getting worried about my leather pants and my roostered hair for the MMRBQ, more importantly.
Do you ever wear shorts?
Nah, but I do shave my legs if you need to know.
Okay.
But wait,
No doubt.
Why? Why do you shave your legs if you're not wearing shorts?
No offense to Steve, but I think the hair should be on the head, nowhere else.
Okay.
You know.
So you shave everywhere?
Everywhere, yeah.
Really? Armpits?
I've been trying to do a contest or a little promo with Casey Boy, but it's just not happening. Sales department. I want to shave Casey Boy.
I don't want to do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to
You
do
should
that.
come get laser hair with me.
Oh, you get your bead
Remove it
laser.
permanently?
Yeah.
I follow you on social media. I'm like, where does she get this done at? I could do that.
Oh, come with me.
I will.
All right.
Do you shave your armpits?
Cut that out, what she just said, Casey.
Do you shave your armpits?
I do, yes. You want to take a look? Yeah.
Yeah, they're short.
All right,
Yeah,
there you
sure
go.
enough.
Very nice.
Okay, he's a shaver. He's
Your ass crack?
He's an O'Hare guy. You're one more step closer to Romano, man.
Yeah, Romano.
You have that in common. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. Chrissy Teigen has admitted, listen to this,
Her again.
she underwent a cosmetic surgical procedure to have fat removed from her cheeks.
Okay.
Per a recent Instagram story she shared.
Isn't that kind of her look? She
does have
she's
kind
a very
of roundish cheeks. Yeah.
clearly a beautiful woman.
She wrote, I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here, she said.
The Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal?
I guess so, yeah. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. She
I can't say
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal.
That's amazing. I can't do that.
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal. There you go.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, sir.
Now do it backwards.
I can't do that. Fat buccal diamond doctor.
Wow.
Well, I left out removal fat.
Oh, way to
All
go.
right, removal fat buccal diamond doctor. I'm reading it. I can see it written here. So
Still good.
Still pretty good.
removal fat buccal diamond doctor.
I will say this after Dr. Buchal's fat removal, that she looks different.
Yes.
Well, it's sort of that what we were talking about. Who was it yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
It was Tori Spelling.
Tori Spelling. It's
Terrence and Phillip.
Yes, it gives that Terrence and Phillip look.
If you do too much, it looks like she got not like almost too much. It's,
Right.
You know, she's
Not as
flirting
much
with
as
it.
Tori.
With Dr. Buchal's fat removal?
Wait, what's buccal? Because his name's Diamond. What's the buccal?
Dr. Diamond buccal fat
I assume the buccal is the kind
Procedure?
of fat.
Oh.
It is, or the buccal fat removal.
So it's Dr. Diamond buchal's fat removal.
Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal.
Okay, it's not plural.
Maybe someday they'll have a Dr. Diamond buccal fat replacement.
Yes, and fill those cheeks back up again.
Exactly. Theater royalty in the form of Kristen Chenoweth, Julie Taymor, and Lin-Manuel Miranda welcomed back boisterous audiences to Wicked, The Lion King, and Hamilton for the first time since the start of the pandemic, making Tuesday as the unofficial return of Broadway. Chenoweth surprised the crowd at Wicked by appearing on stage for a speech at the same stage where she became a star years ago. And she said the fitting line, she said, "There's no place like home."
Right.
Coming back there. And the crowd hooted and hollered and gave her a standing ovation. You could hear him hoot.
It's not a hoot.
Several hoots and a couple of hollers. That'd be kind of scary.
It would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I think that the actress would walk off the stage.
Tamor, the director and costume designer for The Lion King, congratulated her audience for the courage and enthusiasm to lead the way. She said, "Theater as we know it is the lifeblood and soul of the city. It's time for us to live again." And Miranda at Hamilton summed up the feeling of a lot of people when he asked, "I don't ever want to take live theater for granted."
And by the way, I did not write Hamilton. I have to know. Yeah. You know, Preston, I have a love-hate relationship with Broadway, and because there's wonderful things to see.
Yeah.
But those theaters are designed for people from the 1870s.
Yeah, they're tiny.
And unless you're a dwarf.
But it is super exciting going
It is
to one of those
amazing.
shows.
It is amazing.
It is also super expensive to go.
Oh, my
to
God.
one of those
$200 or
shows.
$300.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The first time I went to Broadway, I had gotten comp tickets, okay, because of my job. I was a music director, and it was for Rent, and Rent had a soundtrack and all this stuff. And so the record company got us tickets. I'm like, wow, man, that was a great time. We enjoyed the hell of the show. It was amazing. And I'm like, we should go back and see that again sometime. And then we went to go back and see it, and we paid for tickets. I'm like, oh my God.
They offer packages, though, that are actually really good deals that comes with dinner at, like, you can choose from a number of restaurants and things like that. So at least it's
hotels sometimes and an organ transplant.
But just anything in New York.
Anything in New York.
You get a cheese sandwich, and they're like, that'll be $14. You're like, what? It's a cheese sandwich, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's so. We're in New York.
One last story. John Mellencamp revealed to the Indianapolis Monthly that in addition to recently recording, he and Bruce Springsteen actually painted together. He said, "Bruce and I have done 2 paintings together."
This is my house, and this is the smoke coming out of the chimney, and this is me and my family holding hands, and that's a daisy.
He said, "We have a..."
That's a turkey. I made it with my hands.
He said, "We have a painting that we worked on for 2 days straight."
Yeah.
He said he painted one side, I painted the other.
That's the whole.
And he also said Bruce had never painted at all, and he was really good, really into it.
Have you seen any of
Mellencamp stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. He's accomplished.
How come
Now,
my turkey looks better?
I don't know if he does, like, realistic stuff.
Memoir.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. So, as I said, yes, we have a couple of quick announcements to make. And one is we've already passed along some of the info that you know, but there is something that is official about it, so we will make that official now.
Oh, boy.
We're excited that Friday, February 28th, we have an event, and you already know about it. It's a Cardboard Classic, and we just want to announce that sled registration is now open! It is official, and so we can start getting people signed up who want to be a part of this annual activity. We've been doing this now for 25 some odd years. I don't know how long we've been doing it. But we want you to be a part of this. WMMR.com for sled registration tickets, photos from last year's fun, and a really cool thing that a listener had picked up on was Montage Mountain. Their Google Earth photo of the actual mountain is while the Cardboard Classic was going on.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, you can clearly see the event is taking place from, wherever they take the pictures from space, from satellite, wherever it may be. It's pretty awesome. So, you can be a part of this event, but if you wanted to actively, you can be a viewer, not a viewer. What's the word I'm looking for? Spectator. Yeah. Thank you. You can come out and be a spectator, but if you want to participate, you want to be in on the prize money and the glory, then you can now sign up now. You can do it with your team. You can do it individually, however you want to, but you can go to WMMR.com. Sled building materials, cardboard, tape, string, glue. Registration open at WMMR.com, and the deadline to register is February 21st. We have $1,000 for the best design, $500 for the fastest, another $500 for our favorite fail, courtesy of Pro Team Collision, and there will be more prizes to be announced. So, by the way, for the fastest, sled. That's solo riders only, and there's only 25 total for that category.
Yes, yeah. So get in now.
So get in on that. And
of course, those tend to require the least work.
Yes. But if you're with a team, a group, you want to make this thing a real party, sign up with the group at WMMR.com. And keep in mind, when it's over, when this Cardboard Classic is over, the world's largest 80s party is going to be hitting, featuring the M80s, which is a tribute to MTV. That is free to attend. But Mountain Fest continues on Saturday. Tonic and Better Than Ezra are playing. They're doing pond skimming, fireworks, and your lift ticket is your concert ticket. VIP tickets are on sale now.
I know so many people, more than I've ever heard. This is year 3 for us doing this, and we love it, and we love how accommodating they are out there. But I'm just hearing more people hunkering down, and they're going to do the whole weekend run. A lot of people are just totally into it.
Absolutely. So that is our announcement.
Yes.
That's announcement number 1.
Okay.
Now announcement number 2.
Oh, my God.
I didn't want it. Is this what I think it is?
It is.
I didn't want it to be this big of a deal.
Well,
but-
we're making it
all
this
right.
big of a deal.
Okay.
On Friday, for the first time ever,
God.
Kathy Romano is releasing her list of bonus activities. So we get fall activities, we get holiday activities, and now we get
After holiday activities.
after holiday activities. We're going to call those bonus activities. So that's on Friday. So the Kathy's always just out there trying to find out things that are going on to participate in and go and enjoy. And this kind of fell in your lap. These when you're like, I need to share these.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of people get like after holiday blues, like a little depression sets in. It's cold, you're inside,
Yeah.
you know, it's dark outside. The holidays, all the lights are taken down.
Monsters.
Well, so I try to actually fill, some of my evenings or weekends with things to do. And there was still some stuff out there. But as I was looking for like stuff to do, stuff just kept coming to me. And then it was, in my algorithm on
And people
social media.
ask you, you're the consultant to go to. So this is sort of a mini list, right?
Yeah, so it's just, listen, there's a bunch of things on there, but it's just like quick little things. If you're, you're kind of like a little gloomy, I'm going to give you some stuff to do on the weekend.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
It's
So
buttressed right up against the weekend.
we will do that Friday morning.
There we go.
So be prepared to take notes. And, of course, all that will be indicated on WMMR.com and PrestonandSteve.com when we are done. So happy about that. We will go live on Fox Good Day in a little bit, so we need to dive into whatever we're going to talk about right now, which is we're going to chat a little bit about this mook at the Eagles game. Don't you love that word?
It's the best.
Mook.
What's better, mook or goober?
Goober's great, too, but mook is like the
Mook.
big
Mook says mook.
goof
Yeah.
idiot, So the guy that called this gal, a Packers fan, the C word, it's caught on video, and he's, catching a lot of heat from it, obviously, because really it didn't seem like the guy was doing too much other than just happy about what happened on the field at the moment. And
By the way, I don't know her. She could set little kids on fire, but she looks adorable in this.
Yeah.
She seems to be just wanting to have a good time.
Yep. So this guy is facing a lot of heat. Apparently, the group that he works for is, I guess, letting him go.
He's gone.
At first I had seen that they were just reviewing what had happened, and we're going to discipline him somehow or another.
I mean, I knew that was going to happen the second I didn't even hear it. I just saw the video and my volume wasn't up, and I was like, yeah, this guy's life's over.
Is that case? We're looking at the video right now. The guy right there who's kind of like,
Yep.
okay, he's leaning over.
He's
that's him
clapping right now.
clapping
Yep.
And
in
he
her
sings.
ear. And then what does the guy holding the video or taking the video? Was he brought into it somehow?
Well, he's her fiance.
Oh, he took the video. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
he
Got
took
it.
the video, and he was like, dude, you don't have to
call her a dumb C
Yeah.
or an ugly C.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that the Eagles fan said was completely inappropriate, wrong, and reprehensible. And this, so I want to ask this question, acknowledging that this guy is a mook and deserves some type of punishment. But I'm curious as to what you guys think, like how long the punishment should last, and what should the repercussions be? Should his life be irrevocably changed?
Well, this is exactly what I was thinking about, and I find myself conflicted in multiple ways, because we live in a day and age where someone's entire life he was a mook, he was an idiot.
He's a total a-hole.
Does having your life dismantled fit the crime? Can the opportunity, and I don't know, I'm not taking sides anywhere
Me
here.
neither.
I don't know the opportunity to apologize,
Right.
the opportunity to do better or to be better. But I mean, this is, and by the way, there's two things running here. The questions with that, and also the notion of, reminding people that when you're out in public, you're out in public, and there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
And so you may want to think before you call the petite little girl, woman in front of you, the C word multiple times while you see cameras in your face.
Yeah.
Cameras, I mean phones, of course.
Right. And I think there is also the assumption that this isn't an isolated incident, that this is what the guy is like all the time. And I can't make that assumption, but that assumption is there.
And you also may want to weigh this, too, if you believe in deterrence as an example to maybe make people think twice about doing something like that. I don't know.
So think of your worst. And again, this is I don't know. I'm going to be flat out honest. I don't know where I stand on every iteration or version of how this plays out. But think of your worst moment where you did something and it's caught on video. And that's not you. Right. This may be him. I don't know this guy, this mook, as we're calling him. But if you've had better moments in your life, do you get a second chance? Because this brings it all. He's lost his job, and there's also the fact that somebody just might be a perpetual recidivist and a dick. But you'd like to think better of people, and you like to give people the opportunity, perhaps, to turn things around. I don't know. Is anything I'm making sense?
I know exactly what you're talking about. And I was with someone who made an awful mistake once. And he is a great person. Whatever happened, I don't know. Alcohol was involved.
Right.
And I don't think that it wasn't him. It was something, and the people that were there were completely shocked when the words came out of his mouth. But he actually ended up writing a letter of apology to the person, and was like, "Look, that wasn't me. I don't know what happened, and I'm so sorry." And the person never responded, but he sent that letter directly to the person and called the establishment and said, "Can you please make sure that he gets this letter?"
Think what happens is that in the aftermath, everyone is holding people who have been guilty of this and worse are going to hold him to higher standards. And I think now a lot of people say, oh, okay, in a case of an apology, is he simply apologizing because of this massive avalanche that's occurred? Yeah. So you always have to weigh that out.
Yep.
But I mean, again, think of yourself in, as you just said, this good person's position.
It was a time where I'm sure there were cell phones, but they weren't out. It wasn't captured on a cell phone.
Right.
So his apology was genuine because, no one knew it happened except for the group that was there and obviously the person that it was directed towards.
So, one of my immediate thoughts and reactions to seeing this was, there's no way that this guy's not going to be identified. And when he does, anything and everything that he knows is his life is going to change or be over. And then I got a little bit fearful that he might take drastic consequences. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
When the
kill himself?
Yeah, possibly along those lines. I mean, listen, his livelihood was taken away from him, and some people out there are going, good, he deserves that. But
anything's possible. I don't. My mind doesn't jump to that place, but I can see what you're saying.
Yeah.
If everything turns on a dime, and
if he immediately was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," that hasn't happened. So. You do have to hold people accountable for their actions at some point.
So let me ask you, Kathy. We talked about you being in this this PR sort of.
He could use me. Right. Tell him to contact me. I can help him.
And you get it. What would you suggest? Say it turns out that this is a misstep for this guy. He's found himself in a for the past couple months in a bad situation, and things got away from him. But he's essentially a good guy. What would you suggest to turn things around?
I think in all of this, and even with the celebrities, they need to make, I know there's a point where you have to kind of disappear, right? And that's sort of what he's in now. But there's a point where you have to make yourself visible. You have to give that apology in whatever way that you do it. If you do it on social media or wherever, you write the guy a letter, you have to apologize. I mean, if he means it, but apologize and then make yourself visible. Hey, here's who I am. I am a normal person. It was a mistake.
I agree. And here's another thing that I think that has a little bit of weight to it as well. If you are going to apologize, you have to make it's got to be sincere.
It has to be.
And what it can't be is, I sincerely regret my actions.
I'd like to apologize.
They were, or it's this almost lawyerly written thing, which you hear
Make
so
it
much.
genuine.
My behavior was abhorrent.
No.
Blah, 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 blah. What you need to say is, oh my God, I'm a freaking moron. I can't believe, and in this kind of language.
It has to be.
I am a stone cold idiot. That was really stupid of me to do that. I'm embarrassed to go back and see what I've seen. I have learned from this. I'm not going to do it again. I deserve what's coming to me right now. If you lay it out like that, I think you are given a little more
Avoid the
latitude.
lawyerese.
Yeah.
And say, listen, I understand if you never forgive me. I got it. But for my conscience, I have to tell you, this is the way I feel. That was not me. I've had my missteps. I can be an a-hole. And I apologize emphatically. If there's anything I can do to make this right by you, please let me know.
The guy who posted it, the fiance, also doesn't have a squeaky clean past either.
Right.
And so some of that stuff is being unsurfaced as well. So for me, I can't help but go, before I want to point the finger at somebody, I can't help but point the finger at myself first and go, who am I to judge anybody else?
Do you know when it comes down to case? And basically, we all are drawn to reclamation stories about people who went down a bad path and were able to correct it, or people who made mistakes and are able to do good, and reverse course. So we embrace those stories, but a lot of times in the real world, we're less forgiving, And
also,
not that I'm saying he need,
Yeah, we don't know enough about this guy to know whether or not what the level of judgment should be, I guess. But the other part about it is, Casey, from the Packers fans' perspective, being egged on and being filmed for YouTube content, that part of it really gets under my skin too. So that's not to excuse this guy's response.
No.
He should be held responsible for the things that he said and his actions. But being filmed with the purpose of trying to create content and trying to egg people, especially Eagles fans, on when you're wearing Packers stuff at an Eagles stadium, it's just the people doing the filming, there's a little bit of responsibility there, too.
Let me ask you. So here's what this is what I would say as this is folding out. Take the video. I wonder if the guy with the video, he immediately posted the video.
Immediately, yeah.
Would you go to would you go to security?
I would have gone to
Would you go to security and say, this guy is doing this? It's my understanding, not having been there, but there are text numbers around where you can contact security if you have an unruly. So
there's security at every section.
Security at every section. That would be my first step before recording it and then posting it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Probably, but then again, if somebody is berating my wife, and is going off on Rochelle like that, I'm like, oh, it's on, dude. This is going public.
Yeah,
Screw you piece of crap.
And I hear that completely. Let me ask you this: is it on with you with the phone, or is it on with you going up?
I would at least switch seats with her.
Oh, and physically, no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
No, that's not worth somebody getting hurt. Or me dying, or something like that.
At the very least, I would have switched seats with her. You know what I mean? All right, let me move closer to said a-hole.
But I definitely would have not only gone to security, but later on posted the video as well, for sure.
I think, and again, I don't know. I don't know how I'd react to that. I know I'd probably freak out a bit, but my first inclination would be security.
Yeah.
Get this guy thrown out.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd run my mouth.
By the way, somebody asked Kathy if your program that you're going to help people out with is going to be called Dumb Bitch Public Relations.
Yes.
Okay.
DB.
Don't be a dumb bitch.
DBPR.
Don't be a dumb bitch.
Right? DBPR.
Yeah. Don't be a dumb bitch PR.
Yeah.
I just
I have been
hate
assaulted
people like
at sporting events in other cities. I was assaulted at, and I use that term loosely. It's not like I got hurt.
You're
or anything
harassed.
Like that. No, I got physically shoved.
Oh,
They pulled your hat off, right?
That was at the Devils game.
That was the cheese hat.
They pulled my cheesesteak hat off and ripped it to shreds and threw it at me. And listen, I thought that was all in good fun. Believe it or not, I enjoyed it. I was like, this is fine. No, but I was at the 49ers game, and I was just walking through the concourse, and some dude came up behind me, by the way, like a coward, and shoved me from behind, and then took off down the concourse.
Oh, what a dick.
Let's go ahead, Nick. Sorry.
Here's the other thing that Steve and I were talking about this yesterday. The thing that really, I think at the end of the day, that bothers me the most, this is supposed to be the fun distraction to life.
Yeah.
Sports and sporting events and the games that you go to are supposed to be where you are enjoying. And let's acknowledge the fact that both of these people, all the people involved, They're rooting for the same freaking sport. They're both watching a football game. One just happens to be a fan of one team in one pair of uniform, and the other happens to be the fan of Philadelphia. Who gives a crap?
I know.
Why, the people that take it this seriously need to figure out life a little bit more, because it's like you're just there to watch a game, to have some fun. The rest of life is hard enough. Yeah. Go to the game and enjoy yourself, and don't be an a-hole.
Yeah, what are you doing to tamp down life's stresses? Are you always at 11?
Right.
When the thing that is supposed to be the distraction that makes you happy and provides you a respite is making you that furious.
You know what though? Like if we go out of the city, to another city, if I go to New York to visit family or wherever I am, I'm conscious of the clothes that I pack. Like I won't pack Jace an Eagles sweatshirt.
Oh,
if
really?
we're going, no, so I was recently in New York. I had to go for a funeral, and I packed a bag for him, and he came out, as we were leaving to the car, he got himself dressed and he had the Eagles sweatshirt on. And I was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Like we got to go. And we walked into the hotel, and the bartender who was at the bar right in the lobby, he was like, hey, go Eagles. He happened to be an Eagles fan. So that was cool. But typically I'll be conscious of that because he's a kid. Like you don't need some, Giants
Mommy,
fan
what's a
making
dumb C?
some stupid comment because of his sweatshirt, and he has 900 sweatshirts. Just wear another one.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that's the bigger issue of it. Listen, you're going to a game. Your team's going to win or lose. It sucks when your team loses.
Yeah.
Or if you're losing and somebody else is happy that their team is winning, and it might get under your skin because of that. But you've just got to. You just got to check yourself, man. You just got to. Come
act like you've been here before.
What's that?
Act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
The Eagles have lost games before.
Well, the great thing to remember is that alcohol will help you remember that.
Please.
Make better
Have
decisions.
a drink.
Alcohol will get you right where you need to be mentally. So to the other question floating around, and I'm asking for your input back on that. What level of retribution? This guy clearly deserves it. You don't do that. It's a horrible thing. Of course, another black eye to the fan base of Philadelphia. But the reaction from the Eagles was solid and so on and so forth. But how much punishment does this guy get?
Well, he's got to atone.
Yeah.
And then maybe that can dictate that.
Right.
I don't know. He's got to seem genuine in an apology.
Right.
Like Kathy said, he's got to make a public apology.
Well, I mean,
just letting it drift away is
not going to help.
Not going to help
Right.
at all.
Well, I mean, let me ask: is the punishment that he's received thus far enough, or does there need to be more? He's already lost his job. He's already lost his livelihood. He's banned from the Eagles games. People know who he is. There's thousands of people out there judging him.
I think
does there need to be more?
I think getting fired is too much for something like that. Well, I don't know. I mean,
wonder-
from your job.
I wonder if you have a point, Preston. If the company says we're going to give you the option to make a public apology,
right.
Because the company has a right to not be attached to someone who is.
Isn't it a hospitality company?
That's the thing.
The problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I work for
Come
Make-A-Wish.
on in, you dumb C.
Yeah.
We're going to hope you have a good time today.
Yeah, it's like working for Make-A-Wish and then pushing a kid in a wheelchair down the stairs. Yeah.
I know. And let me preface this by saying, and you guys know this. I've known you. You're some of my closest friends. I detest bullies. It's one of the one thing in the world that really gets under my skin. I just hate with every fiber of my being that people that live that kind of life, that bullying lifestyle. I can't stand it. And this guy deserves, some form of punishment for this. But then again, I'll say that losing your job, I don't know.
So that's a very logical, metered approach to it. Because, again, I think we all default to the notion that what if in our worst moment we did something like I don't think I'm going to see you on TV calling somebody a dumb C, but in the stands. But I would know that's not the Preston I know. So what? How do you hash that out? Because we live in an immediate response.
Yeah.
Video up, livelihood gone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hell!
It does turn me off seeing stuff like that. And let's go back a moment to the other thing we talked about in the news.
With the Flyers?
There was a Flyers game.
Yep.
At the end of it. They were playing the Maple Leafs, and it was at the end of the game, right?
The game is over at
Leafs
this point.
won. There's two Leafs fans that are standing there cheering. This
Celebrating.
There's a guy who jumps over 2 rows of seats, goes down and punches both of them in the face.
In the face.
Dude.
What the?
Come on, man.
To be honest,
We're not even in a pivotal part of the season.
Yeah.
That
January.
is a crime.
They're this close to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
If sports is making you that crazy, man, you got some problems.
Casey, you said that it's a crime, and obviously you're 100% right. But somebody mentioned earlier this morning that might be why it's being handled a little differently. I have no idea, but because it was physical assault rather than verbal berating up, the Eagles game, that perhaps already security and or police got involved in the Flyers thing. I have no idea, so I'm only presenting this as an option.
There's also a promotion that night. It was Punch Fan Friday.
Oh, was it really?
I didn't realize that.
Punch Fan Friday. I love that.
But he punched two fans. So
well, that's why they threw him out. He violated the rules.
And they were Canadian.
It was on Tuesday. It was a 2 for Tuesday.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I'd love an update on the woman that screamed at Kylie and Jason Kelsey at the
Oh,
shore.
my God.
Right? Like, whatever happened with her?
I drive past that shop.
Is it open?
Yeah. I mean,
it is still open.
I think
By the way,
and people wanted to put her business under. You know?
Because there was word that she was closing, so maybe she didn't. No,
and we had Victor Fiorello on because he wrote about it, and like they had a security guard there for a stretch, and then it, guess what? After a month or whatever, however many weeks, it blew over. People got tired of it. They thought about the next thing.
You know what I hear, by the way? I hear the chocolate's amazing.
I'm sure that it is.
The place.
Okay, we have a little bit of time because we're going to go on Fox Good Day, but there are calls. Let me go to an anonymous caller checking in this morning. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, my man?
Good. I just wanted to to chime in. First of all, I was thinking something. The funny thing to do is to make the guy do the Cersei Walk of Atonement.
Shame. Everybody's spitting on him. Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I do not condone the actions of the individual because, and I do think, he should be banned for life based on what he did, because what he's done is he's put the city of Philadelphia once again into a negative light. And, we know this happens in every football city and all that. But in Philadelphia, of course, it gets magnified because of the history that we have. So unfortunately, I think he has to deal with the fact that he may never be allowed to go to an NFL game again. But at the same time, what I don't like is what I call sometimes these justice warriors that seek out his employment and get the guy fired over something that was not illegal by law. It was a scumbag thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But who are any of us to judge? Because we've all made mistakes. Unfortunately, in this day and age, everything gets recorded and people seek you out. And it's a shame because his life is going to be ruined. But I'm going to say this as well. I agree with Nick. The YouTuber needs to be banned from football games for life as well, because he came to Philadelphia looking for a fight. He did not stand up or call security for the poor lady that was with him. And all he was looking to do was to create a buzz, which is what he got. And quite frankly, I think the NFL needs to ban him for life as well, because there's no place for that. And you start to see this content creating happening more and more and more with these people. I've seen random videos of people going up and slapping others, for content and things like that. And
Can I interrupt for just a second? Because
Sure.
I mean, from the video that we've seen, and if you're talking about baiting someone to act inappropriately, in that video that I saw, I don't see much baiting going on there. I don't see somebody really turning it on.
Well, people are trying to say they didn't see what happened before the filming. So
has anybody seen what happened
nobody's
before?
seen it. So honestly, you can't just make those assumptions. You can't make assumptions that the guy who was yelling all these profanities, that's how he is all the time. And you also can't make the assumption that this guy baited them into this type of behavior.
Yeah, two big assumptions.
All right? The one thing yes, Casey, you're exactly right. Did it? It could have. Did it not? It's possible it did not. Well, the one thing we do know is that he was calling this woman the C word, and that's an absolute, and that's caught on video. So the best way to curtail that is not do this. So
correct, Steve, and that's what. And Preston, I was going to say exactly what Casey said. We don't know what was done before. We don't know how edited that video is, and that's the thing about these idiotic content creators is that they can edit it any way to make it look like they're the victim. If this was truly an incident where he wasn't doing anything to provoke this, he should have called security, because security would have been on them like as quickly as possible. I've been at the link plenty of times to know that security is there all the time because they don't want to see things like this happen.
Yeah.
So do I think that the guy should be banned for life? Yes. Should he lose his job? If he makes a public apology, no, because everybody makes dumb mistakes. He didn't commit a crime, and I think you ban the YouTuber because he's clearly going around to other stadiums doing this, and another thing.
Do you sorry, just to jump in here, do you have it on authority that this is something this guy does at other stadiums?
So again, that's the power of social media is that a lot of people, the detectives went out and have saw that on his Twitter account and other places, and I don't know exactly which account it was, but on places that he's gone out to do this just to create content and to get likes and things like that. So yeah, so he has a reputation too. Unfortunately, it just makes us look bad overall as a fan base because it's just if it happens in Philadelphia, it's a national tragedy, unfortunately.
Yeah, I haven't seen those other baiting. Did you say so? Until I see that myself, I can't form an opinion on that. So
okay, fair enough. Thank you, guys.
All right, appreciate it, bud. All right, we'll see you.
I think the most linear way to make sure this doesn't happen is to just go to security. You have somebody who's there, whether they be someone who's looking to create content, go to security.
The Eagles have made it easy for you to do that.
They have everything in place to make that stop. Don't fall for it. Don't end up as a viral video. Don't end up losing your job. And also, here's ultimately what you shouldn't do. Be a raging a-hole.
And apparently the Eagles received a number of complaints about this guy, about the Eagles fan, and the way he was acting at the game.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and Big Dom got involved, right? Like he helped track down the Eagles fan.
I saw that on Twitter.
I wouldn't want him on my case.
I think he's the one sending the Packers fans some gear.
Casey, question. We're doing Fox Good Day. Do we need a break now?
Yeah, we do. I know.
I apologize to everybody. I like to apologize, Ra and Joe and Travis and Jack and everybody who's on hold. I'm sorry you guys waited so long, but we kind of got diarrhea of the mouth and couldn't stop talking about that, and we didn't get a chance to go to your calls. But thank you very much for holding on and wanting to contribute. We do have to take a break. We are going to do that very thing. We'll come back in a moment. We'll go live on Fox Good Day. Then we have some bizarre file stories, and we're giving away Metallica tickets with a secret text word today. Text the word secret to 39333. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
He definitely does some cool
impressionistic
things. Yeah, it might be considered impressionistic.
Excess paint, and it blends all this together.
Yeah, this is it.
There we go. We're painting mountains, as you know. You always want the top of the mountain to be more distinct than the bottom of the mountain, because at the bottom we have mist, and now we have wonderful pollution.
So before I knew that I had ASMR,
right,
and I was a teenager, I would sit there with Bob Ross on, smoke a little herb and just sit there and just
lost.
Absolutely zone out into it and have no idea why I liked him so much.
Did you ever get inspired to attempt to paint along with him?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I have no artistic ability whatsoever. At a younger age, I had tried. I had a friend who was a decent artist, and he gave me a canvas and Steve. There was a house with chimney coming out of it, and Daisy and the family. I mean, it was just terrible. It was horrible.
Curly smoke coming out.
Yeah, just bad. The sun in the corner.
Yeah, with the lines coming out. Yeah.
Look at that. With the rays coming out of it.
You can't see the whole sun, but it's a quarter.
Anyhow, he said he said about Bruce. He said I was surprised at how hard he tried. He was like, "How do you do this, John? How do you make this work?"
This is terrible.
We're trying to.
It stinks. I can't draw. Why'd you make me do this? I don't want to do it. This is stupid.
Like a little kid.
I can't draw.
This is stupid.
I tried to draw a cat. Why did you make me do this? God damn it.
He just starts stamping in
Don't want that.
in one spot.
Let's play with a ball. Stupid paint.
He would say,
Told you I don't want to do this.
He would say, "Hey, John, how do you do this? How do I make this work?"
Stupid.
He said, "We're
It
trying."
doesn't look like anything. I'm not good.
No, you are.
I'm not.
No, you are.
I don't like this.
Trust me. It looks good.
It's not that bad.
He's throwing a tantrum.
He'd rather go outside and play.
Yeah.
You've never done this before. Cut yourself some slack.
I can't. I'm stupid.
You're not stupid, Bruce.
Stupid.
You just need to work a little harder.
I want some milk.
Okay, we'll go get some milk and then we'll try this again later. Okay.
Bring it in the purple cup.
John. Hey, that's important to a kid.
Oh, of course.
He said, we're trying to figure out how to sell it and give the money to charity. He said, but I was proud of him. He went after it.
Do I get a gold star?
Very proud of you.
I know, but you don't like it because you didn't put it on the refrigerator. So you say things that are not true.
Oh my God.
If you liked it a lot, you would put it on the refrigerator, and you did.
I'm bringing it
and
to
then
work.
you make me feel stupid.
I was so busted
wow.
from the refrigerator to the trash can. Why is this in here? I was like, oh, that was a mistake. I don't know what happened. It must have come off with some of the other stuff. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
I keep that stuff. Cappy throws it away. Jace, come over to my house. We'll appreciate it. Whenever you guys are ready, this is Froggy on MMR. Here we go.
I love nachos. Nachos from 7-Eleven. I know that they're bad for me, but when I eat them, I'm in heaven. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. Liquid topping tastes so good. Post-band practice, I buy them. I eat them in Fiona's kitchen. Best worst nachos in the world. They're the only thing I want. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. You would have some if you could. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. 7-Eleven nachos. I think they taste pretty good. 7-Eleven nachos are like $4.20. That's a funny number, but I should know the price by now, but I really don't. The cheese is so good, it's all bright orange. Yeah! Oh, nachos! And cheese! Yeah! 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 Wow! 7-Eleven nachos.
I love that. I love the lyric. They taste pretty good.
I love it. And the original recording, I couldn't hear everything where you go, I highly recommend it. I love that. And by the way, you know who's a fan of this band? Nikki freaking Six is a fan of Froggy.
He's our best friend. I love that guy.
He wanted a Froggy t-shirt, right? Isn't that the deal? Did you guys get him one?
Oh yeah, we were like, he was like, how much? We were like, do not even worry about it. We're like, for you, it's free.
Yeah, that's
Oh my God, that is the best. I love it. So I want to hear. So when we ask somebody to do a song for us, to do a jingle or whatever, you never know if they'll go, yeah, right, whatever. But these guys were like, oh, of course, we'll totally do that. So we were totally psyched about that. Did it take a while to come up with something, or was it pretty easy to come to you immediately?
It kind of came to us immediately. We kind of used the riff we had in store. We just didn't know what to put lyrics with it, and we're like, this is the perfect riff to do it with. And we had 2 drafts of the lyrics, but we came up with something good.
Okay.
And yeah, we're really excited.
So the world debut.
Yeah.
And what is the title of the song?
No title
No
yet.
title.
It's
No
the Preston
title.
Steve
All right.
song.
All right. So I'm excited for this, and I want to make sure we get a good recording of it. This might be our only chance to get it. Unless it ends up on an album.
Sure, in the future we will record it.
All right.
yes.
We appreciate that.
November. I guess it's November now.
It is.
Soon.
By the way, let's check this out, and then we'll find out where any gigs and things like that are coming up. So can we get the Preston and Steve song?
Sure.
All right, let's check this out. Froggy, I'm so excited they're here this morning. These guys, they got heart, man. I love it.
Real
All right,
deal.
whenever you're ready.
We got to have that.
It's Friday. Did you hear that at the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's our new Friday anthem if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was outstanding. I couldn't hear exactly what was being said in the middle there. Cat, so a little bit here, we will have some music starting to surge up into the speakers, and that will indicate that we are going live on Fox. Good day for a chat. I do want to reiterate that we made an announcement earlier. Our Cardboard Classic coming up on February 28th. Sled registration is now up and running, so you can enter your team or individually and get on board and be a part of this event. So that is at WMMR.com or PrestonandSteve.com. But sign up now if you want to be a part of it, and we would love to see if you're a first-timer, whomever, bring the whole gang and come out. All right, that music right there means we're going on Fox, so let's do it.
Superstition, Stevie Wonder. Hot 100 back in 73. Preston and Steve, welcome to Good Day Philadelphia.
How are you?
Morning, guys.
Hey, guys.
Super. I got a text, I believe it was last week, from Nick. Is Nick there today?
I am, but I'm here most days, Mike. But I think that text was from Casey.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was Casey.
Yeah.
What's it say there?
It says, I'm a little bit superstitious. You have to get a Brazilian wax on Friday morning.
Okay.
And then when Mike said, eek, then he doubled down and said, I guess you just want the Eagles to lose.
So instead of me, we have a couple of sports reporters. What are their names? Mark and Aton.
Yes.
And so we waxed their bald heads. But there was some stubble, so it was painful. So Casey, if this is your idea, how about you step up? We'll send a camera over to you on Friday morning. We're doing a pep rally.
Oh, no. Okay.
And we'll wax something on your body.
That doesn't
Maybe your
track, Mike.
tattoo.
Listen, I would wax, and that's no problem there. But it doesn't track. I didn't get waxed before the last time the Eagles played the Rams.
That's exactly right.
What I actually have to do is do whatever I did the Friday before the Rams game, which is eat really, really delicious food that you pay for.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Well, listen, no, because that doesn't work. Because our sports guys, we waxed them last week, and they weren't waxed the last time we played. Mike
And they
was.
won.
Listen, Mike's just trying to get out of waxing, so we need somebody else to be.
Well, listen, the waxing
Cat
thing.
at this point have been waxed so much.
Yeah, no, the waxing thing is over, but we really all do need to figure out what we did the Friday before the last time they played, because the Eagles played the Rams earlier this season.
I remember what I did.
Yeah?
I waxed Mike's genitals.
I ask you not to mention
I'm
that.
sorry,
ever
but do you
again.
want them to win or not?
I do. All right, we'll figure something.
Well, did y'all hear the news, though,
What?
about the referee, Sean Smith, who's going to be doing the game? Apparently, the Eagles have not won a game while he's been officiating since 2023. We are 0-3 with this guy. Does that make you nervous? Do you believe in stuff like this when people give out those stats and say those things?
I think I do. I don't until I do,
Right,
which is
right.
kind of the way. Like, for example, I kid you not, I don't watch important games, as we get down to, getting close to the Super Bowl. because anytime I've ever watched, and I kid you not, they lose. So I actually, when they won the Super Bowl the last time, I recorded the game, and then when I heard applause around my neighbors, I watched the game.
I hate this talk about superstitions. Superstitions are the stupidest thing in the world as far as I'm concerned. There is absolutely nothing, not one tiny bit of anything that you do that has anything to do with what happens on that field. Nothing.
Except for the underwear that I wear the day of the game.
Yeah. Well, Preston is sitting in a pentagram right now.
Also, I take it back. You know what I do? I call a woman the C word, right? That's what I do.
Can't do that.
Hey, do you want the Super Bowl or what, guys?
No.
Really?
No, I agree with Preston, though. That obviously, there's nothing we can do that would adjust.
Hold up. This is the same man when we're watching games. If, for example, during the Sixers, which, that's a whole nother story. But back when they were good and in the playoffs, if they won and we were at a certain place, then we'd have to go back and watch the game at that same place during the entire series. And you'd wear the same shirt. Is that not true?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a superstition to me.
He's on the stand right now.
He is.
I'm sorry, Mr. Man. You're going to be getting that wax on Friday.
We'll send our cameras over.
I'm sure Casey will do something in solidarity with you, right,
Yes.
Casey? You'll do something.
We will do something that does not involve waxing, but we will do something. I haven't figured it out just yet.
All right.
We'll talk.
All right.
Thank you,
We have
guys.
48 hours to get
All right, we'll see you later. Oh, my God.
So, Casey, to your point earlier, I have no idea if, obviously, this has any bearing on anything to do, but the Eagles played the Rams on Sunday, November 24th, and on that Friday, we had a Duncan merch drop. So maybe Duncan could drop off some stuff this Friday.
Can Duncan wax you?
We had Jeffrey Asmus, the comedian. He was in studio that day, and I put out the Friday liner. So other than that, I don't see anything on our collective work calendars that day.
Okay, so that was what, the Friday before Thanksgiving week?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
What are the things that at what point, where does it stop? What are all the things that you did that have to be paid attention to, but the other things don't really count?
All right, so I wear my Delco Johnski's Dallas Sucks shirts on Thursdays, and I try not to wear any. I still do this, and it's superstitious, but it's also, I don't know. I think it's just me being a fan thing. But
Code sacrifice.
No, but on game days, I can't wear any of the opposing team's colors at all.
Yeah, you're pretty strict about that.
Pretty strict about that. And I had from Tipsy Elves the snowsuits that we got last year for the Cardboard Classic. I was going to wear that on Sunday, but they've got rainbows on them, and there was like yellow on the rainbows. And there was a specific reason why I wore Kelly green on Sunday and not regular green, and it's because the regular green actually matches the Packers green. So, yeah. And that, what's really funny is as I'm putting my sneakers on Sunday morning, getting ready to go to the game, my wife noticed. She's like, I think there's like a little yellow in those sneakers. I was like, God damn it! So I had to go find a new pair of sneakers to wear.
It's tough. It's tough, slaving under superstition. All I have to do is not watch and then just DVR and watch it when it's over.
I will just do whatever I want to do.
That's it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I'm picking up your slack. You know what I mean? So, and I don't mind
that's
it.
His superstition. That's what you do. You do everything you want to do without any superstition.
Listen, I know as a fan, I have zero outcome as to what happens.
No, you don't. You're
zero
big
influence. But this is maybe my way of acting as if I have.
It is, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It makes you think you're a part of the team.
It allows it to hurt more when they lose.
I did say to Marissa, the season that we won the Super Bowl, Marissa knew somebody who worked within the Eagles organization. And that season, I had gotten a ball, a game-used ball. That it was a game that they played against the Chicago Bears. I'm like,
right.
I own that ball. And so I need a ball from this season. I mean, guys, if we want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl this year,
you want a game-used
I need
ball.
a game-used
You're
ball.
throwing this out to the Eagles organization to see if they can set you up.
I mean, do they want to win the Super Bowl?
That's the question.
I assume they do.
I just, every time we mention that, though, I remember, and I know it, but just the memory of being down there for that parade, for that win, one of the greatest days ever.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe we will, but it all revolves around
a game day ball.
Game day ball.
A
that
game
Casey
day ball
gets.
and
Underwear.
and
Brazilian wax.
shoes.
And toes, nail polish, and what time you started the car that morning.
Oh, man, I never even took that into consideration,
these
Preston.
are things you got to pay attention to, or else it's for naught. I think we're going to do the bizarre file now. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Special Olympics Pennsylvania, inviting you to get freezing for a reason at the 2025 Polar Plunge. February 1st at Citizens Bank Park. And for more information or to register, you can visit phillyplunge.org. That's phillyplunge.org. On July 4th, 2022, a guy named Andrew Disney had a fireworks mishap that might very well be every man's nightmare. When night fell over the celebration, the fireworks got bigger and a mortar-style beast was unveiled. Unfortunately, it fell over, and one of the mortars fired directly at him and nailed him right in the crotch.
Whoa!
The fact that the explosion blew off his shorts and underwear actually made it easier for emergency crews to tend to his substantial wound.
Did he lose it all?
Well, though they actually accidentally caught what was left of his testicles in a tourniquet, which is a special kind of pain. Doctor said that 8% of his body had third-degree burns, but yeah, you got to throw that in there. That his big-ass rattling belt buckle, which his wife hated, ended up preventing the damage from being much more severe. Fortunately, because of the skilled doctor's skin grafts, therapy, and support from his wife, he now says everything is working as it should.
As it should.
As it should.
Hypothetically?
I don't know, but it says it's working as it should, but the guy survived that.
It's like a mortar shot to the nutsack.
Unreal. Wow. All right, this story, man. Dating Brad Pitt. That'd be a dream come true for many women, but it turned out to be a nightmare for one French woman. Of course, she wasn't actually dating the actor, but a scammer pretending to be him convinced her that she was sending her because he was sending her AI-generated images.
And I looked at these images, and they're not good.
They're not good.
They're not good at all.
And when the fraudster claimed the need money for cancer treatment, she gladly gave it to them. The scam started back in 2023. When the victim, Anne, received a Facebook message from the scammer. They first pretended to be Pitt's mom and then started texting Anne, claiming to be Brad Pitt himself, and that's when the affair began. She was conveniently married to a millionaire at the time, but when the con artist asked her to marry him, she divorced her husband.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. She first sent money to the scammer when they claimed to need to send gifts they bought her through customs. Then the pretend Brad Pitt asked for money for cancer treatment and sent AI-generated photos and videos of him in the hospital bed, claiming that he couldn't use his own money because of his ongoing divorce from Angelina Jolie.
It just screws everything up.
And eventually sent the scammer, listen to this, more than $850,000.
So,
which she had thanks to her divorce settlement.
If you're thinking lucidly, and maybe you're swept up with the notion that Brad Pitt is macking on you, but might you ask, well, isn't he good friends with George Clooney?
Right.
Could George lend him the money?
So they only ever communicated through texts, and Anne only realized that she had been scammed after seeing a photo of Pitt with his real-life girlfriend, Inez de Ramon.
By the way, to imagine how bad these pictures are, think about just cutting out a picture of Brad Pitt's face and gluing it on other photographs. That's how bad this AI looks.
So Anne's been receiving treatment for severe depression at a clinic since the complaint was filed last year, and police are still searching for this scammer.
They may never get him.
A peculiar sight greeted a landowner in rural Missouri late last September. A young deer wearing a multicolored collar and bearing the word pet painted on its side. The unexpected encounter left the man perplexed, prompting an investigation by local authorities and wildlife experts. The landowner who spotted the 2-year-old deer wandering on his property contacted the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office for assistance, and by the time deputies arrived, the animal had disappeared into the woods. The markings and the collar suggested someone may have attempted to domesticate the deer. The incident has reignited conversations about the dangers of keeping wild animals as pets. Deer are not suited for life in captivity.
I don't know. Are you actually supposed to paint the word pet on your pets?
Interactions with deer can be hazardous, particularly due to the risk of chronic wasting disease. This incurable illness affects the nervous systems of deer, elk, and similar species and can spread through close contact. Also, they warned about the potential for aggressive behavior, especially during the mating season.
Yes.
Efforts are now underway to locate this deer, remove its collar, and help it return safely to its natural habitat. Speaking of the wild animal world, a male zebra died after a female rhino unintentionally punctured its stomach at a zoo in Essex, England. Yeah, the rhino, called Astrid, had been sparring with her son Teo when she tried to move Ziggy out of the way.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Colchester Zoo said Ziggy died of his injuries within minutes. That's terrible. The zoo said Ziggy sadly passed away following the incident in their mixed species African habitat.
Yeah, they usually have zebras and rhinos in the same enclosure.
Yep. Ziggy had lived happily with the other species, including the rhino, in this habitat since 2017.
You notice they don't put rabbits and lions in the same enclosure anymore?
On Friday, two of the rhinos, Astrid and her son Teo, were sparring with one another, which is a regular natural behavior for the species. And on this occasion, unfortunately, Astrid attempted to move Ziggy out of the way, and in doing so, unintentionally punctured his stomach with the horn.
Yeah.
And died of the injuries a few minutes later. The zoo said that it reviewed its care for animals to minimize the risk of such incidents occurring. They added that such incidents were extremely rare and they are devastated by the loss.
I assume they arrested the rhino?
Yes, the rhino is detained at the moment, yes. All right, and then one last story. A sun-scorched patch of lawn near Christchurch in New Zealand has been crowned the ugliest lawn in the world. Now in its second year, the world's ugliest lawn competition rewards lawn owners for not watering their parched yellow grass and patchy flower beds. The winning lawn in the settlement of Birdlings Flat belongs to Lisa Elliott and is kept closely cropped by harsh coastal winds and little rainfall. Said, I live in a small coastal community. Our drinking water is pumped from a well nearby. And in my mind, drinking water is drinking water, not watering the lawn water.
So we're looking at a picture of it. I don't think it's all that miserable looking.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, it kind of looks like regular terrain.
Yeah, although that's supposed to be grass, but it's pretty beat up. She said, I have aimed at creating a garden that primarily looks after itself, making its own natural rhythm. So the contest for this began in the Swedish municipality of Gotland as a stunt to promote water conservation on the island. An irrigation ban in 2022 due to water shortages led to a competition between residents, which quickly gained global recognition. And that is what I have for you in the Bizarre File. In case you missed it, Kathy made an announcement a little while ago. A special event is taking place on Friday. Kathy's bonus activities is going to be happening. So these are, as you said, we kind of go into a seasonal depression after the holidays, and it's been dark for a while. You need something to liven the mood up a little bit.
Yeah. And we got a sponsor, DBPR.
Which is Dumb Bitch Public Relations.
Right, that's my new company.
So Friday, Kathy is going to reveal this new list. By the way, speaking of, having some fun things to do, this week's big friggin' deal is with Camelback Mountain. And you can get one open to close lift ticket to Camelback Mountain for just $40. So that's 12 hours of 39 trails, fully lit night skiing, high-speed lifts, and the largest ski resort in the Poconos. So you can get all of that information and other exclusive deals at WMMR.com/deal. So take advantage of that, friend. We're going to take a break. Coming back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Third part was no school for me, Mom. I don't want to go. I just want to listen to the radio.
Yes. Oh.
No, we need that. Yes.
Old
absolutely.
school angst. I love it.
Love it. We're honored.
You guys have any gigs coming up that we need to be aware of?
New Year's Eve at Philomoka with Colleen Green and Joe Jack Talcum. It's going to be awesome.
Yep, it's our biggest show.
And something early December in the works, not fully planned out yet.
We're actually taking November off to record a little something.
Yeah,
Very nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Well, you keep us surprised of what your dates are, and we'll get them out for you, man.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
thank you.
People who love straight up punk are gonna love this this energy that you guys have.
So that New Year's Eve show, all ages show, or
Yep,
is it
all ages.
Okay. Speaking of ages, how old are we all here? So Morgan, how old are you?
18.
And Brooke?
I'm 18.
And how about you, Fiona?
17.
18, 18, and 17 years old.
They're so damn good, though, man. They really are. It's great.
Hey, what are you guys doing the second or third Saturday in May of 2022?
Nothing that I know of.
all right.
Free.
Yeah, just
I'm free.
keep those Saturdays open. Just,
Dude, that would be awesome.
Oh, I'm like, what is he talking about? What is
The
second-
barbecue.
Got it.
And barbecue.
Sometimes it takes
froggy.
Well, this morning I quit my job, so I know I'll be over.
Oh my God! Wait, Brooke, did you quit your job to be here?
Well, not exactly, but today was just the day where everybody was like, "Do it, just do it."
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
Like
that's
an
so
hour ago.
punk. That's so punk of you. I love it. And you're wearing a Ween shirt. That's really cool. Have those guys reached out to you at all? Or is it not a Ween shirt?
We've been talking to Gene Ween's son about maybe collaborating on our album. That was a while ago, but I hope he's still interested. I love Ween so
Ween's
much.
great, yeah. Remember there was Push Little Daisies.
Yeah,
was
they're out of New Hope, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm a roses are free kind of guy.
I'm a very chocolate and cheese and God Ween Satan girl. Those are my favorites.
Excellent. All right, well, one of the songs we requested, I got a nice slice of pizza here ready for this, was Pizza Ball.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of your LP or your EP that you have, your album?
Sopa de elote translates roughly to corn soup or corn chowder. I picked something random. I was like, guys, I think this will sound weird. We had no idea what to do. Yeah, we just kind of picked.
I love it.
Corn soup is fine. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get one more song out of Froggy this morning, and whenever you guys are ready, we want to hear Pizza Ball.
Woo!
Yeah, all right, let's do this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in live at the Preston Steve Camp Out for Hunger, this is Froggy.
Time to deliver a pizza ball. 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 One time I was 8, my whole family went to the shore, and there's this guy Wayne who's making this clam chowder. It was what he was known for, and it tasted so freaking good. I had like 10 bowls of that clam chowder, and I tell you what, I woke up in the middle of the night. And I said, Mom, and I threw up all over the floor. Someone carried me away, and that's all I remember from that night. Yeah! Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a clam chowder ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a pizza ball. Time to deliver a clam chowder ball.
Yes!
That's awesome. That's so great.
I had to shoot the confetti for Froggy in the end. They finally got pyro, man. I love it. You guys are the best. You are so much fun. We love that you're doing just straight up, just in your face punk.
Yeah.
It is the best. And thanks for writing a Preston and Steve
Yeah,
show
of course.
song. We'll make sure we have information on them on our social media accounts, and you can check them out. Let's hear it from Morgan and Brooke and Fiona. This is Froggy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
You got it.
We love you guys.
We love you.
Rats continue to run rampant in the neighborhood. It's happening in the 3600 block of Germantown Avenue. Residents say the rats are living in a vacant lot that's not being attended to by the owner. Right next to the lot is a barbershop that's owned by DJ DeSinga. He says the rodents are burrowing into the ground and under nearby buildings. He says complaints have been made to the city, but not much has been done about the problem.
Kathy, did you see that the rats actually started a barbershop quartet? It was amazing.
The rats are even finding their way into nearby homes. One resident said it jumped up on my couch and went onto the floor, and it had claws.
Wow.
I would die if that happened to me.
Listen to them. They're beautiful.
Good old days, 20 years from now.
Wait a minute. Can you speed that up?
Oh, my these will be the good old songs that are on the...
I can't speed it up
Damn
while you're...
it!
Well, no, not while you're actually playing
I
it.
shall work on it so we can get an actual
okay.
depiction of the rat barbershop quartet.
Yes, it would be, journalistically appropriate.
Right.
to
Yeah,
get
I mean,
that
come on
a little
now.
bit more
in
accurate.
part
if we
accurate.
can.
Exactly. Preston. That's why
Actually,
you won that
I think
award.
better than speeding it up would be like pitching it up.
You know what I mean?
Well, whatever. Yeah, somehow or another make it higher. Can you do that? Or
I don't know. Probably not.
These will be the good old days.
That just sounds like a key change.
Okay. I'm still.
It's all good.
I'm just playing with it a little bit here.
Listen, it was a threadbare concept to begin with.
You've never produced a rat barbershop quartet before, Casey?
No, but you know
call
what?
yourself a major market producer.
I know. All right, so here's.
He was called the Phil Spector of rat barbershop.
The wall of sound.
So with the cold
Wall of
weather months
cheese. So good.
There's a Grammy. You're getting a Grammy.
It's perfect. Yeah, one more time.
Oh my God.
They're good. They're really good.
I never thought I'd start my day off this way.
They don't have much else to do. Rehearse their parts.
Yeah, that's why they're so good.
I'm looking at the video of this, and we saw what we thought was a dead rat on our walk the other day.
No.
And well, it's confirmed. I'm looking at these videos because it wasn't huge, so we
Right.
were like, "Is it a mouse? Is it a rat?" No, it
These,
was a rat.
these are more like like field rats,
Right.
So if you get if you've ever been inside of the subway,
yeah.
you're gonna see much larger rats.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Even better.
You're so good.
Even better.
Those talented
Hello.
barbershop
That's just.
And then they wear the most adorable little white pork pie
Straw hats and stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are having fun with this. These poor people in Hunting Park are dealing with all these damn rats.
Kathy, you just have to laugh, and same with these guys.
Yeah.
With the cold weather months approaching, neighbors fear the rats will only get more desperate. DeSinger says that he doesn't know how he can bring people safely into his business if there's rats in the drop ceiling. A spokesperson for the Philadelphia Department of Public Health said officials have been in the neighborhood to inspect the rat issue and are currently working to get into the lot legally. It's unclear when the problem will be resolved.
Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you
Rat. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
I would go see a show like that for sure. Wow. I had a little adventure yesterday. Do I have time to share a quick story, or should we break?
Yeah, we need to be out. You got plenty of time.
5:42.
I wanted to share this real quick because it's fresh and we'll never get around to it if I don't. But yesterday I went, and I'm not going to say where exactly I went, but I went to a medical appointment.
Right.
Yesterday. It has nothing to do with my butt or my none of that. It was something
more
else.
Botox-ish.
No. But anyway, so I show up for this appointment. It's a new appointment for me. I've never been in this place before, and I need to go and fill out some paperwork ahead of time.
Right.
So they asked me to be there about 15 minutes before my appointment. I showed up there about 20 minutes ahead of time. I walk into the reception area, and nobody's behind the reception desk.
Huh.
But I could get into that area. It was a small little office that you come into, and there's a desk, and then the door that leads back to it was, like I said, it was a medical, so there's exam rooms back there. So I'm standing around, I'm waiting, and I wait about 5-10 minutes. Nobody's coming. And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking around, and I look behind the desk there, and I see a pair of glasses there. I see a glass with a straw in it. I see a pen with some notes written down next to it. I'm like, people have been here. This is not, I didn't show up to the wrong places. They have two offices. I'm like, okay, I came to the right office. I checked. I made sure. I checked my time. I actually spoke to them shortly before I got there. But yeah, you're going to be here. So I'm like, I know I'm on time. What's going on? So I'm like, all right, well, I'll sit down, wait a few minutes, whatever. I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And it's just getting closer and closer to my appointment time. And as I'm waiting, an older woman walks in to the same office. She walks up to the front desk, kind of looks over there. And I go, hey, I've been sitting here for 15 minutes, and nobody's back there. To cover, how about we do it via Survey Says this week? So much information out there, folks.
How do you reel it all in?
Sometimes you got to dive into several little bits of it at a time, and that's what we do on Survey Says. So I saw a poll that was of 2,000 U.S. adults, and the poll is about small talk with coworkers.
Small talk with coworkers, like about nail salons?
That's no fair.
It's not small talk. We're friends, and we're
Yes.
chatting about nails.
It was funny. We're getting ready to try to figure out what we're going to do in this next segment. And Kathy and Casey across the console here are having this back and forth about nail salons.
No, that was just a very small fraction of the conversation.
Oh, what was the main conversation?
Started with milkshakes.
Yeah, because Kathy's taking her niece out for her birthday. She wants to take her out for milkshakes, and so she's going to go to Nifty 50s most likely. But I was just simply asking her, were you looking to do something else? Because she's going to be in my neck of the woods.
And he knew the area, so he's
Yeah.
like, there's a nail salon right there. And I was like, oh, we already did nails for Christmas. I was looking to do something different with her. And so we started going back and forth about nails.
Is it your nail salon?
Yeah, so I told her to go visit Yen over at Pink Nails. And
So
yeah.
Yen's new nail salon.
Well, it's her new old nail salon.
Oh, she went back.
Yeah, she went back.
Oh,
You,
okay.
you go to a place called Pink Nails?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I used to go to where Yen was before, and then Yen moved to Pink, and then she moved out of Pink, and now she's back at Pink.
I used to go to Pinky Nail.
Pinky nail.
Yeah.
They just did one nail?
Right? Right, Steve? Yeah.
How about two in the pink nails?
One,
Okay.
Shocker.
Yeah.
You guys always ruin it.
Okay.
I did.
Went and did that there. So anyhow, the survey about small talk at work, 3/4 admit they struggle to engage in light conversation with their coworkers at the office. It's 74% of the poll.
I know people who have conversation anxiety, and it is my heart goes out to them. Early on, my father, we would converse and got us comfortable with talking to people who were older than us, and it was just part of the deal. But I see people, who just tremble at the notion of having to conduct a passing conversation with someone.
You see it in the movies all the time where people will be talking in the mirror, just practicing, being at a work function. I know somebody that actually did that. I thought that was just, it was just for the movies or whatever. And maybe for the most part it is. But for people that do struggle, they do have to sort of like role play. And sometimes they'll role play, in the mirror.
I get a slight sense of anxiety when I am having a conversation with someone and someone who I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can start to feel it getting towards the end.
Right.
And that at this point in time, like leaving is not part of the equation. So I'm like, okay, I start struggling to think about what can I say to keep this conversation going, because sometimes it heads into territories that I am either really not interested in or I don't have much knowledge of. And, and a lot of times it has to do with people's life. Now, I know this is conversations about people with coworkers, but
yes.
But sometimes if I'm talking to a stranger and a conversation leads to what they do for a living, and they do something like, an analyst of some type,
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what to ask you about that. And if I did ask you about it, I'm probably not interested in it whatsoever. And then I start getting nervous.
Do you know it's an easy
what I
tool,
mean?
and it will help move the conversation, or at least wrap it up? Call them a dumb C.
A dumb C.
No,
Ugly C.
Well, you have conversational interviewing skills.
Yeah,
and apply that the same way.
I do sometimes. I'm like, okay, this is going to be me asking questions.
So where are you
going to
be appearing?
Yeah.
So I will say that, we oftentimes have, just hallway greetings.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're just walking past each other in the hallway, and I try very, very hard
to remember their name.
No, to not ask a question. I don't ask like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's more of like a good morning. What's up? Actually, what's up is,
Yeah.
But, just nothing where anybody's going to feel the need to actually give me a response.
Rhetorical.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is talk about the passing in the hallway thing, and I've noticed this before. Say, Nick and I were just in a room together, the studio, and then he went down the hall, and then after he leaves, he's gone for a couple of seconds, like literally a minute or two. And then I need to go down the hall, and then we pass each other. We just saw each other a little while ago, and we'll see each other in the hallway and go, "Hey, man, hey, how you doing?"
I know. I think
you know what I mean?
We can pass each other without saying hi.
That's the first time you've seen each other in the hall.
Right.
And you don't know how things are in the hall.
Where the worst is when you're passing by people, and let's say there's 3 people, and you know 2 of their names, and you make the mistake of going, "Hey, Nick, hey, Kath." And then
Hey,
you get to the
you.
third
Like,
person,
oh
you're
my
like, "What's up?"
Hey, what's up, man? Give me a hug.
Connor Lavin.
Bring it on in.
Shaking.
Preston's like, "God damn it, who's Connor?"
Who is that guy?
So overall, 27% of the people that were surveyed said they feel more comfortable communicating online than in person. And that number shoots up for Gen Z workers to 40%. Nearly half of all recipients said that they use WhatsApp, Teams, or email to avoid face-to-face conversation.
Wow, man.
Even when they're sitting near that person.
So, yeah, wow. I'm more inclined to want to just to converse, and we had this conversation, I think, a week or two ago about people who are terrified to use the phone for conversations. It's the same thing.
I almost, and it's not because I didn't want to be face to face, but I actually forced myself not to do this. But I almost called Casey this morning from the office while he was in the studio because I needed to ask him a question about something. And I was like, I had everything all set up. Like I had my coffee, I had my water.
You just didn't want to get up.
I didn't feel like getting up. And I was like, oh, no. And I forced myself. I'm like, don't call him. That's ridiculous. Preston will make fun of you.
Definitely.
I mean,
send him a postcard.
I would have heard you calling him in there.
Dear
I would have been
Casey.
all over you.
It is 15 yards away. Preston, I totally understand and can commiserate with the the ending of the conversation anxiety thing. But I've gotten to the point now, especially with like close friends, where I'm just like, all right, I'm going to go over there now.
Yeah.
Like quite deliberately, I'm just like, I think that this conversation has ended. I'm going to go to another part of the room, and I feel comfortable enough with those people that I'm like, yeah, we're done.
The closer you are,
That's right.
the more blunt you can be. I can literally go, I'm done talking to you.
I'm going over there now.
Turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
That's my cousin this is what she does. And we've known each other since we were born, so it's okay. But yes, if we're in person, she will say, okay, I'm done, and she'll walk away, or she won't say anything. And sometimes when I'm on the phone with her, it's like a movie. When they don't say goodbye and they just hang up. That's what she'll do.
Really?
Like there'll be like a breath and we'll basically be done, and that's it.
Okay, click.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or
Interesting.
she'll go, I gotta go. Okay. All right. Bye. See ya.
I forgot to tell you guys this. I had a meeting with a guy last week. I'd never met him before, and all of my interactions leading up to the meeting were really, really short. So much so that I thought he was being dismissive. And then I called him. He was running late for the meeting. I texted him. He didn't respond. And then I called him. And Kathy, he did that at the end of the conversation. And I'm like, am I getting into a meeting with a guy who's just a complete a-hole or really short or really, and then
staccato speech pattern?
Steve, but not even just staccato, just very quick and very brief. And it turns out he just was being efficient. And then once the meeting started, very friendly, really warm, really open. But communication beforehand, not that at all.
I realized I just did something very antiquated in telling that story. I said the word click for someone hanging up. There is no click
There's no
anymore.
click anymore.
Yeah,
there's no click.
Do you dial somebody? Do you roll down your window?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I actually dialed someone yesterday for the first time in quite a while.
On an actual phone?
Yeah. On my cell phone.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Dial the.
You push the buttons.
I pushed the buttons. I didn't just hit a name.
They used to have an app that was literally a rotary
dial.
Did it make the noise?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that you could call using that.
But there's no click, and therefore there's no satisfying hanging up of the phone anymore. Of bang, slamming that down.
Yeah, slam your $1,000 cell phone.
Yeah, you'll shatter it.
Nick, you and Preston were in here with me yesterday. I used this phone behind me. I haven't used a landline phone in a long time. I had to dial 3 times because I messed up twice.
Dude,
the 9 or the 1 or something.
I am seriously considering just unplugging the phone at my desk because I never.
Mine has been unplugged for almost a year.
Yeah, I never use it.
It's never gotten used.
Yeah.
I don't even know who unplugged it. I didn't even realize it was unplugged when I picked it up. I'm like, oh, this doesn't work anymore.
I'm like, that's where another Iron Man could go.
Anyway, the struggle for the conversations around work is so real for some people. 28% will avoid going to the kitchen.
Oh man,
the office kitchen in case they would have to talk to someone. For 40% of young adults, small talk at work is like, quote, learning a new language because they're more familiar with working remotely.
I don't feel this.
No.
I don't avoid conversation with people.
But think about people who do, and think about you're at work. I mean,
they're probably avoiding me.
I know, yeah. I don't want to talk to that bitch.
Hey!
But the thing is that used to be in crappy jobs that I've had throughout the years. One of the joys would be chatting with my coworkers.
Kathy, besides me, who do you, like, if you were to walk into the kitchen, somebody was standing there, of the entire office, who do you, least like to see?
Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
That's terrible. It's chalk. No, I'm kidding.
But Kathy, like, think about, what we do for a living is we get paid to talk and have these types of conversations. And for the most part, we don't really have any anxiety going into them. And we can talk about anything at any length for any amount of time. And people that have that anxiety walking into the kitchen will really
it's a lot
prevent them from being able to have any conversation.
Going back to the phone ending conversation, I love what Tom is going to say here because it's written on the screen. Hi, Tom. Good morning.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Preston. This is Tom. How you doing, man?
Hi, Tom. I'm great, bud. All right, so you have a special way to end phone calls with a friend, right?
Yeah, I got a really close friend of mine. His name is Chip. And we've traveled together. Our wives are best friends, the whole thing. And what I started doing is you can tell when the conversation's coming to an end, just like you said before.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, before we wrap up, I got to tell you one more thing. You're going to love it. And he gets real engaged. And he's like, oh, what's up? And I hang up.
Dude, I've done that with my friend Jeff. You do it. Yeah, I've said something like, "Oh, dude, you'll never guess who ended up having naked pictures on the internet." Click.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
And then he calls back. He's like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Oh, it was Click." You know?
So you know what?
It's a great idea. Thanks, Tom.
In those conversations where you feel awkward, and I was just thinking about this. If you were to have an app on your phone where things are going south and you start to have the
I'm sorry.
It's got to wrap up now, but I want to thank you for having me. Would that be great?
I love it.
That should be an app on the phone.
It should
You're
be.
cornered in the kitchen, Kathy. So, my God, I'm so sorry.
But you know what? Maybe I'm not nervous about conversation because our conversation does have to be short. Because I'm constantly, if somebody stops me in the hallway or the kitchen, I'm constantly looking down the hallway to see if that on-air light goes on.
I have to get back. I sort of think, thanks for having me.
One of my best friends, next time she calls in for something fashion related, but Elisa, she will tell you. I mean, she loves to be on the phone and she will talk to me for hours if I let it go that long. And sometimes she'll call me out on it. I just hang up and I pretend like I lost service. And she'll just text me and she'll be like, I know you have service. I guess you had to go. I'll talk to you later.
Wow.
You are married to a power talker. I am married to a power talker.
Yep.
And when those two power talkers talk to each other.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh,
hours.
my God.
I had to avoid. I had to just stop calling. If I needed to talk to Preston, I used to call his landline, and I had to stop doing that because Rochelle would answer. And I'd be on the phone with her for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, can I talk to Preston?
Yeah, but you know what?
I'm
She's
sorry.
so sweet. She's so sweet. She genuinely, she's one of those people, though, who genuinely wants to see how you're doing.
Yeah, it's a legitimately good conversation.
Yeah. All right. Well,
But you do need to have the smartwatches. There needs to be like an emergency button on your watch that you can hit that will alert your best friend to call you because you need to bail out. You need to bail out of a conversation.
Okay. All right. Well, apparently office talk can be awkward for some people. Very awkward. One last call, then we're going to move on to a different thing. This is Tim. Hey, Tim, good morning.
Hey, what's that smell? That's your nutsack.
Oh, my God. There you go.
That's your nutsack.
What's up, Tim?
Hey, listen, so I am a Verizon technician, so I'm a dude that comes to your house all the time to help you out with your FiOS.
Right.
And so there is a distinct line of, I'd say, maybe 31, 32-year-olds that have no small talk. None.
No
Nothing.
small talk. Yeah.
I will ask them, hey, how you doing? Fine. Okay. How's your day going? Good. And it's like these one-word answers.
Yeah.
And you get some like some nice meemaw. How you doing? Oh, everything's fine. Let me show you the grandkids. And it's like this extended conversation. But I mean, it is nothing. Like you get nothing out of these kids.
I've noticed that, and you raise a good point too. Because when I have people come to the house to do work of any kind, I'll talk to them. I how's everything going? You working in this area? And it I don't know. It's just kind of, hey, thank you for coming, and here we are. But I've encountered people who do not know how to engage in a conversation.
Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily a generational thing, though, Tim. I appreciate what you're saying, though. But I mean, because my kids have friends that won't shut up, and that's fine. That's great. And then others are one or two word answers.
yeah.
So it's person by person.
Yeah, and
thank you.
Your children have always been able to talk to adults, you know. And I have 3 kids. 2 of them love talking to adults. I got one who, He just doesn't know how to do it.
I
Like,
think it's
maybe
a
he gets
mistake
nervous
to
about
like,
it.
don't like at parties or whatever. If my parents were there and they would integrate us sometimes into the conversation, and I think it benefited us in life.
By the way, somebody texting in has a good wrap up for a phone call. You say knock knock, they say who's there, and then you hang up. That's all right.
That is good.
All right, survey says move on to another one. This particular survey of 2,000 U.S. adults of over age 21 finds that just 48% actually care who wins the Super Bowl.
Just 48%.
Yes. What matters more to them is the food at the Super Bowl party. So
yeah, I can see that. The Super Bowl, the experience, the party, the gathering itself, I think, because there's going to be a whole chunk of people watching who don't have any skin in the game, that their team isn't there.
Yeah,
so the majority is not really that invested.
I just know as a fan, a major fan of the NFL, I do. Sometimes it's not who I care who wins the Super Bowl. Sometimes it's like I care who doesn't win the Super Bowl. Right? Like right now, with all the teams that are left in the playoffs, like I guess Washington would be the one where I'm like, no, we can't have those guys win. The rest of them, obviously, Eagles being number one.
Yeah.
But yeah. I always take an active interest.
let me ask you a question about the Super Bowl itself because, football is the most popular sport in America. And the Super Bowl is the most viewed television program of the year. Do you think that, say, a sport like baseball, because clearly the World Series does very well, it's not what the Super Bowl is in that people get together around the country and they watch no matter where they live. It's more like the cities that are involved, and there are baseball fans that are going to watch the World Series no matter what. If the World Series was a one-game event, do you think that it would turn into a more like
I think so.
Super Bowl type of fascination?
Check the ratings for all Game 7s. And because then it becomes a one-game tournament at that point.
But it's still, you have to invest leading up to that.
Right.
And you can't plan on this one day is when the one game that is going to count is going to happen.
No, you're right.
You may find out 2 days before.
Yeah.
Okay. But for the Super Bowl,
it's a
at the
one-and-done
when
tournament.
it's going to be, no matter what. At the beginning of every season, you know exactly when that's going to be.
Of the three other major sports, I find a lot of the appeal in the fact that there are 7-game series, especially in the finals, So like if it's a 7-game Stanley Cup final or whatever, and I'm a hockey fan and I'm a baseball fan, I'm going to watch those. I understand your question and your point, but I think that like for the most part, the people that are watching those championship rounds are just the fans of those sports. You're not getting your average sports fan tuning into the World Series or the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm saying I'm wondering if
would it change that
one game this for everything, and we're planning on it. We know that at the end of the season, there's going to be one game against two teams, and that is it, and that will determine the champion.
Sometimes there's a play-in to get in for sports. There's like a tie at the end of the season or whatever, and so there's a one-game playoff just to get into the playoffs. But because that's not like the championship round, I don't think it draws any additional ratings.
What do you think if the coin toss at the beginning of the Super Bowl actually determined the winner?
Casey, I don't know about you, but like I find the football of the Super Bowl to be pretty boring most of the time. I know the games have gotten a little tighter over the last few years, but like the halftime is longer. The spaces in between the commercials are longer. Like the play itself is slower. I know you've been to the games and those take forever.
Yeah.
So I find like the actual football of most Super Bowls to be fairly boring a lot of the time. But you're biased, and so maybe you
got the crock pot going.
I do got the crock pot going. I think that's a tough blanket statement to make. There have been Super Bowls that have been wire to wire exciting, and then you have the ones where the Rams won a couple of years ago, where it was like quite literally the most boring football game of all time. You know what I mean? Like I think like one touchdown was scored and blah blah blah. So you want some high powered, like fast, kinetic stuff going on.
I guess just the pacing of it is what kind of turns me off a little bit. It's just a slower game because of the amount of TV involved.
Yeah, the amount of TV involved, the longer halftime,
right.
And I don't like that for the players because I love the game of football, and I think, a half hour to 40-minute layoff in between halves kind of, sucks the energy out of the players and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for most people, half of the people, they really don't care who wins the game, but the food is an important thing. And in fact, they have some expectations about the best foods to pair with football. And the number one must-have is chicken wings.
Yeah.
Barbecue comes in second, followed by 7-layer dip at 36%.
7-layer dip.
I love 7-layer dip.
My world famous queso. That is something that has. I think I've been doing this for about 2 years now. I'm looking forward to it. I love my world famous queso.
What's deadly for me is buffalo chicken dip. I friggin' love it.
What's in your world famous queso?
All right, so before the buffalo chicken, it was that, but now the queso. Listen, it's just like some Velveeta, some heavy cream, but like the real secret ingredient is hot Jimmy Dean sausage, all loose and crumpled up.
Did you put Maalox in it?
No.
That's part of the Loose Sausage Club.
Yeah. Yep.
And what makes it world famous?
Yes, doctor, I have loose sausage.
The only thing that really makes it world famous is if I make it and I actually really like it, and then it becomes world famous. So I have world famous that. I have world famous Italian beef. I have world famous mac and cheese now.
Oh,
let's call it pre-world famous.
Yeah.
All right. What was the you made a world famous thing in the air fryer? Was it a hot dog or?
Well, yeah. I mean, but that's just me heating it up. It's just the Johnsonville cheddar jalapeno.
So the way you prepare it is simply by cooking it.
Yeah,
Steve.
But if I actually have to prepare it, like put ingredients together.
Yeah. Steve, what is your favorite vehicle for consumption of the buffalo chicken dip? Like, what do you use to get it into your mouth?
Wow, good question. I will
What
use.
was the question
I'll
again?
use the scoopables.
Scoopables.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What is Steve's preference when it comes to actually consuming the buffalo chicken dip? Like, what does he use?
The scoopable.
I'll give you a wild
those are
card.
good.
The nuggets that you get for soft pretzels. You can kind of dip
rivets.
The rivets.
Yeah.
Rivets for a buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah, those are good too.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Pretzel crisp
I'd be
as well.
kind of. I'm seeing difficulties with keeping the dip on there. You know what I mean?
That's an
a
accurate
challenge,
observation.
right? Yeah.
But man, when it all comes together, oh, you're hitting a home
How
run.
about not dipping it? How about putting some on your plate and
Straw?
then putting not a straw, and then your rivets, and then you use a fork to take some chicken dip and then onto the rivet, and then boom.
I suppose that's a civilized approach.
Why can't you put it on a roll and eat it as a sandwich?
No,
you can.
It's ridiculous.
You could,
but that's several bites. I'm talking about like one bite where you get as much.
No,
Yeah, that's the scoopables.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
Put it on a pretzel roll.
All right.
We just made a sandwich, dude.
Okay.
We just made a real serious sandwich.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
Buffalo chicken dip sandwich on a pretzel roll.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm in.
All right, you wanted to
Yeah.
one of
All right, let's
go.
where I uncovered
Bring it on.
Real
this
talk.
Is a whole other subject, tangential.
You're
but a
among
whole
friends.
other. When I yesterday found out I have a potential raging addiction that I pub cheese.
Oh, yes.
Damn.
Oh, my God, yes.
I mean,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah, please.
And I mean, I destroyed a bag of pretzel rods.
Is this pre-connoisseur right now?
It is. It is pre-connoisseur. It's all right.
Kathy brought it up.
Oh my God! I just
It's
pre-connoisseur.
a little pre-connoisseur.
I'm going to shoot.
I'm sorry.
Man, you should warn me.
It happens.
Yeah, pub cheese and, God, man, port wine cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't had that in a long time.
Yo,
And
Can you combine
beer
them?
cheese soup. Oh, my God.
What if you do pub cheese on that pretzel sandwich you were talking about?
That's almost too much.
Yo, what are your thoughts on Boursin cheese?
It's all
I
right.
don't know what Boursin cheese is.
I don't hate it.
I'm the connoisseur and I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah.
This is giving a thumbs up.
Yeah. It's
Is that the stuff they did the Christmas Village?
no.
Okay.
No.
That's
No.
raclette.
They built
You
a
would-
village out of it?
You would
Oh.
recognize it's a little tub with the green
product,
lid.
yes. Oh, I love those.
And
Yeah.
Casey,
I love that.
they just started making a vegan version of it.
Really?
Yeah, cut down a little dairy in your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Great.
You want to do
And
that.
it says taste free.
You know what you really need to do? Where's the say taste free? I need to start using that as a spread for like a sandwich.
Hey, that would be
Yeah.
good. What is vegan cheese made of?
like sometimes
Beef.
it's like cashew. Like
Cashew.
you soak the cashews for a long time, and then you grind them up.
Yeah.
And then just like until it's liquefied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vegan cheese used to be, and you'll agree with this, Marissa, so god awful. And now,
Yeah, it's so much better.
now it is so much better.
You just have to be careful what you're eating because a lot of times they'll put additives in it, and it is not. You'd be
not
better
good
off
for you.
eating regular
Yeah,
cheese.
no, I know. It's the same. Like, yeah. I
But
know.
the cashew stuff, that's
They're gonna say,
probably
like, cat
decent.
food.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to another subject in the survey says segment. How about this? This was from an MSN poll, and it asked this questions. Which of these diversions could you not live without?
Which of these diversions could you not live without?
There are 4 of them on the list.
There are 4 of them on the list.
Watching sports, streaming movies, listening to music, or reading. You have to choose one.
Watching sports, streaming movies, listening to music.
One that we would
Or
have.
reading.
What the one that we would
You
have to live with?
cannot live without.
Oh, you
Listening to
can't live
music, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would die without music.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, if
I would die
had
without pub cheese.
By the way, I meant to tell you guys this. I'd probably die without pub cheese, but like, if I had of the 4 on this list, we've had Keith Jones of the Flyers on several times. JJ and Bush were talking about him the other night. He's one of those guys on this planet who does not like music. There's nothing. There's no band. Keith Jones does not like music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
It's
shocking?
I always marvel at that. It's almost like, it's like the unicorn.
Yeah.
Seems like a mythical creature.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like, I feel like even if you're not listening, it has to be on. Like it makes a party. It makes the ambience in an elevator,
Yes.
doctor's office, anywhere.
Yep.
It otherwise it's just like,
Yeah.
When I pleasure
feels
myself, I
soundless.
have to have a bossa nova on.
It fills in the spaces.
And listen, I listen to music every single morning as I'm getting ready to start the show. But like one of my favorite activities on Saturday, Sunday mornings, I get up, I pour some coffee, I go into my back room, and I throw some music on.
Yes.
And then I just sit there and and
When we are at our shore house, I have music on all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Always.
I listen to music basically in 2 locations.
Okay.
I listen in my car and in bed when I'm going to sleep. That's
Okay.
really when I do it the most. A lot of other times, Claire has music on all the time. But I don't. I used to listen to it a lot more as a soundtrack to what's going on. But I don't do that a lot these days.
I put it on when I'm cooking dinner.
Yeah.
When we are, straightening up the house, things like that. If we are sitting outside with a fire pit or something like that, there's always got to be music on. So yeah, I'm in on listening to music as the one diversion I couldn't live without.
For me, it would be movies.
Be movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A common question I get outside of the show is, do you like listening to podcasts? And if so, what do you listen to? And the answer is I really don't, because essentially we do that for a living anyway. But then if I'm listening to something in my free time, it's almost always music.
Yep.
And Steve, it's car, but it's also home. We got a record player a couple of years ago. I love listening to records. I couldn't do it without it.
So Claire and I will do the throat singing. We love to do that, so we'll entertain ourselves that way.
Yeah.
Here's a text somebody says, I knew someone who didn't like music and he was a horrible person and he died, so that's good.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow. I have a hard time saying stuff like that.
One perspective. Well, text it. You don't have to say it.
Oh, yeah.
You have a hard time saying stuff like that?
Yeah, just sort of speaking ill of the dead,
We just afraid they'll come back?
Yeah.
Just write it from a burner phone and text it into a radio show. You're good.
All right. Well, I thought that was kind of an interesting survey. All right. I'll give you another one. It's from the same survey, but a different subject. Which technology could you not live without?
Which technology
Plumbing.
could you not live without?
No, this is more like electronic technology.
okay.
Electronic plumbing.
I get technically plumbing is technology. Yeah. Absolutely. No, here are the 4 that it is asking you to choose: a cell phone, a laptop or computer, streaming services, or EV, electric vehicle, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I
What
can't live
could I
without-
not live without?
Yeah, cell phone, laptop or computer, streaming services, or an electric vehicle.
Well, some of them cross over each other a little bit, but
Yeah,
because you can stream.
Let's
but
say
if you
you
had
can't use a computer on your cell phone.
Or you can't use your computer or cell phone to stream.
Right.
mine's definitely cell phone.
Yep.
But you lived without one for so long in your life, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but
that-
I'm so accustomed to it now, I wouldn't be able to go back.
I got you. I guess the way that my perspective on that, Kathy, is that I did just fine, and part of me wants to get rid of it. So like, I would like to. I think I could just do computer and exist work wise that way, and have email be my communication or whatever. So if I had to live without one, that would be at the computer.
By the way, let me go back. Did I tell you what I didn't tell you the results of the last survey. No. Listening to music was number 1 at 29%. Watching sports was second with 23. Reading was number 1.
Reading sports.
Whoa,
32%. Yeah.
Oh, what a bunch of nerds.
Listening to music second, watching sports third, and then streaming movies fourth. Yeah.
I'm in the
What about this one?
What? Oh, this one you want the results?
Yeah.
So number one is people can't live without their laptop or computer.
I think that would be, I mean, they're tremendous amount of what I do and a tremendous amount of what I enjoy.
Me too.
Creating is going to be the computer.
Yep. Then you have cell phone is second at 38%. And then after that, it drops way off. Streaming services, 5% said they couldn't live without.
Sibian's not on the list?
Yeah, Sibian is not on the list. EV is 5%. Maybe there's like a 0.2% that can't live without a Sibian. But I can't say for sure.
No, they were a little embarrassed to say.
Yeah.
Right, other.
All right, we'll do another one. We got to take a break shortly, but I think we have time for another one. Thought of Kathy when I saw this one. It's a poll of 2,000 U.S. adults. They look at the connection between the New Year clean home mindset. And they find that 83% of respondents said that having a clean and organized home sets the tone for the whole year.
Love it.
You mean you just clean the house once at the beginning of the year?
I think, you know what I think it stems from is everyone loves their Christmas decorations, but then once they go away, it's almost like your house feels like less cluttered. You know, everything's away, everything. And as you're putting it away, you're cleaning the space. So it's sort of starting the new year off right.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to get that. And I love putting it out and I love having all the decorations, but it's like, it's past. So outside is now, annoying me because I wanted to get better weather before I start putting that stuff away.
Well, and mine's frozen in the ground.
Yeah.
So part of this, Kathy, and I've not heard of this before, but over 50% of the respondents say it's essentially a superstition that if you start the year with a clean home, you're going to have a good year. I've never heard of that before.
No, I actually haven't heard of that. I just think of it as putting my decorations away and everything's clean and ready to go.
Rochelle was out of town for a week, and we kind of let the house.
Threw all her stuff out.
No, I did.
Where are my clothes?
Some clutter cleanup. But also the house was a bit of a mess because I had things laying out that I was going through. It was a little bit in disarray. So the day before she came home, I told my kids, I'm like, all right, cleanup day. And then we got together and I signed everybody and we straightened it up, man. The house is squeaky clean and it's still clean and I notice it. It's great. It looks nice. I feel better in a cleaner home. Now ours isn't squeaky clean, but when it is organized and together, I do feel like a better person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just had dinner with my siblings on Friday night and we were reminiscing and I think it's like a PTSD because my dad would call it blitzing the house and we hated it.
That's a great name. I love that.
So we would wake up on a Saturday morning and Dad would be like, "We're all right, let's go.
We're going to blitz the house."
Sometimes I hated it, man.
But was it effective?
I guess for him it was. But now at this point, I would love to. I think now as the parent, as the grown up in the house, I wouldn't like to blitz the house because then I would be looking at how little my kids would be doing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I've found it better now, Casey, and doing this approach I think helped out as opposed to clean your room. And we're going to clean the house today.
Yeah.
Have very specific. You're doing this and you're doing that, and then when you're done with that, I'm going to do this as well.
Yeah.
And then when you're done with that, come see me and I'll give you your next assignment.
Yeah.
And that worked out great. Everybody got on it.
Did it? Because I feel like my kid would never come see me again. He'd be like, "I'm still working on it."
Right.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I could see that too. But it worked in my in my world.
Did I tell you guys? So I had Jace declutter and get rid of, go through his, he has like a gaming room, right?
Right.
And it used to be his playroom, so toys and stuff like that. And we've gotten rid of most of the toys, but there's some stuff, he has closets and then he has like a big storage piece of, furniture, and I have bins in it. So
right.
it's, filled with a bunch of stuff. So right before Christmas, I said, just clean anything out, go through everything, whatever you don't want, put in these, trash bags and I'll donate it if it's worth anything. I went to the gym and I came back and I'm like, "Are you finished?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm finished." There were 7 bags filled. I looked around the room. He put everything in the room, in the bags, including his piggy bank with money in it. I was like, "Jace."
He's very thorough.
Seriously, he threw everything out.
Were you?
I took the piggy bank out and donated.
Were you proud of him for his comprehensive approach to cleaning?
I was, but I was like, "Well, what about you got rid of that? Whatever."
Where's your medicine?
He was like, "Yeah, I don't use that." I'm like, "Oh, God,
wow,
right, okay,
man,
right.
good for you."
By the way, those that focused on cleaning up know that it is short-lived, and they said that New Year freshness only lasts 38 days on average, and 59% say that it lasts even less. So they try to do it.
I mean, we're in the process, and then what happens is that I start moving into what I'm planning for spring cleaning territory.
Yes. Yeah.
So I friggin' love that.
Like garage stuff.
Oh my God. And you know who comes by my house? The Baxter people. Yeah, the Baxter, man. It's awesome.
When Pierre cleans up the Christmas decorations or brings in the elves to do the Christmas decorations, he also does, or they do, a decent amount of cleaning, which I appreciate. Like when they put all that crap away, they get out the rags, they dust everything down. And the main studio, the Pierre Robert studio right now, it's a lot cleaner than it was a month ago, and it's in part because they put all the Christmas crap away.
Decluttering is so satisfying for some that in this survey they find that it's even better than sleeping in on a day off.
Well, that's not right.
Winning an argument or finding the perfect parking spot. Those are things that they equate.
Huffing paint is not on
Huffing
that
paint is better than decluttering to these people. All right, that's it for the survey sales. We'll do it again sometime. I do want to take a break because our guest will be in the studio when we return, and he stars as Michael Jackson in MJ the Musical. Very talented gentleman. And this show is going on now through the 29th at the Academy of Music. So we'll come back with Jordan Markus when we return. Stay put. We'll be back in a moment. She had a little bit of an accent. She's like, well, they told me to call ahead,
right?
And I call and it says they're closed, and I go, yeah, well, nobody's here. She had kind of like, I can't do a Russian accent, but it was kind of like
I had the appointment.
Well, not that bad, but anyway,
I called to the phone to be here to get teeth looked at, and I come and nothing.
All right, so
who are you? With your Mr. Lyle Lovett hairdo.
So anyway. She's standing there.
And on weekends, travel to capital city and watch your ladies while they make a toilet.
So she's calling, and she's like, I'm going to call again. And she
is that
calls,
okay with you, pretty boy?
While she's calling, the phone is ringing on the other side of the reception desk, and it goes to the voicemail, and it says they're closed. And so we're standing around. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm going to wait around for a few more minutes, and if they're not here, I'm going to leave.
But you saw like a cup? Like,
there were clearly signs, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, it looks like they left in a hurry. I'm like, because they left stuff laying out, and I'm like...
Did you start CSIing the site?
Well, I said, I hope it wasn't an emergency or something like that. And she's like, I don't know. And I go, yeah. And I go, because look, and I started pointing out the evidence. The more I think about it, I'm like, well, maybe something did happen.
Did you slide the pencil into the barrel of the gun?
And the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, maybe something's going on back there.
Oh, wow. Now you're like, so you do these escape rooms, so now you're doing something.
I may need Mission Impossible.
Okay,
Casey, if you don't mind, because says that, and then she goes, well, if I could, I would go back there.
I would go back to the rooms.
And I go, well, I could go back there. So we slid a chair over.
You climbed through the window?
And I climbed up over the top of the desk. Now, listen, they don't know this.
Right, yeah.
And they know who I am, and they're hearing this on the radio now. So I jump up on top of the desk. And if they have security camera footage, they'll see this.
Oh, we want to see that.
So I jump over the desk.
Right.
And as I'm going back into the offices, I swear to God, this is what I'm thinking, Steve. If I round the corner, I might see dead bodies.
God, dude. You don't know.
I might see, there may have been a crime committed here.
Or
So
you might see some whoopee.
No. I wasn't expecting that. Or I'm going to be the hero because somebody's being held hostage at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And I'm going to come in and I'm going to save
Russian
the
lady,
day.
go take care of it.
So I kid you not, I started thinking about my Krav Maga training.
Oh, my God.
You got ready.
And I got ready and I jump over and I'm going, and I swear to God, I'm crouched down like this.
God, I hope they had surveillance video.
So that I would be able to move.
Be safe, hero.
Quickly if I needed to. And I'm like, I've got my back against the wall, and I'm turning and I'm peeking around corners. And I'm going, hello? Hello? And I'm looking around and doing this whole thing. Now, where the big mistake in my training that I didn't do is I didn't grab some type of a weapon.
Yeah.
Some type of thing that I might have
Like
needed.
the
But
straw.
I literally am looking and I'm like, okay, like the FBI would, like I would, quickly look at it and just move over the other way. And I walk through.
Morning show host, identify yourself.
It's okay. I'm a broadcaster.
This is the point in the horror movie where you're like, why would he do that? Why doesn't he just leave?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, Kathy. You're right. There's a demon.
Well,
in
you
the
want to try to
hallway.
save the hostages.
So I'm picking it, and there's like 7. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was back there. There's all kinds of rooms that I'm going through, and I'm looking.
The hell is this?
And eventually I see the office is at the end of the hallway, and I'm like, anything's going on, it's down there.
That's the room.
That's where they've got him.
There's a glow coming out from under the door.
And I'm thinking, I literally am thinking there's going to be a guy with his arm around someone with his hand over their mouth and a gun to their head or a knife to their throat. And I circle around and I look and I see that there's nobody there. And I'm like, clear, So and right
And was
about,
the Russian woman behind you?
no, she stayed in the waiting room. She stayed in
Don't
the waiting
worry,
room.
I have your 6.
And so what I should have done is open the door so she should come in. She could come in and
Thank you.
and have my 6. But anyway, so I finally there was one other area I didn't go to, which was like it was like a closet. These doors, and I'm like, man, the bodies are in there. And I open it up. No, it's a giant nitrous tank.
Treasure.
I couldn't find anything.
You were back there for very long. What's happening?
Nothing. I was looking.
It's a giant nitrous tank, and right then, I hear, come back, come back, come back. I hear the lady yelling for me.
Help!
She's like, no. She's like, someone's coming. I'm like, I'm busted, man. She's like, because I thought they were going to be in the room when I got out there.
Right.
She's like, no, I saw them go by the door because it had a glass,
a
glass out into the hallway, and there was another entrance to the back of the office back that way. She's like, I saw them go by.
Quickly,
so I come running back, and as I step back, they're making their way back into behind the desk, and I look up on the desk. And there's a giant footprint from where I stepped. And I casually walk over, Kathy, and I put my hand, I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? And I'm wiping it off.
Clean it off.
I'm talking to him. Never said a word about it.
And they on the other side of the divider?
It was like I was waiting in the room the whole time where I was supposed to be. And they were just running late. They had another thing they had to go do. And so,
what did the Russian lady say?
I thought about telling them. I thought about saying, but I went creeping around in their office.
Yeah, just leave
But
it.
it was the best intention. I thought I was
You
going
were
to be
worried.
saving the day.
It is kind of weird to not unless, did they say it was an emergency of some sort? They knew they had an appointment. Why not leave a little sign back in 5 minutes?
I don't know.
Maybe
I didn't
it was
ask.
lunch and they were.
No, it wasn't lunch.
No?
They had to go to the hospital or something was going on. But anyhow, you should have seen me. I was crouched down.
Oh, that's great.
I was crouched down like this. I was in the mode, and it was very surreal. But
That's amazing.
that was a bit of an adventure yesterday.
So that would have been great if they walked in.
Oh my
you come
God.
back. You've
What
got
was I gonna do, man?
You've got the nitrous tank of your arm.
Yeah.
You've got some of the tranquilizers and
And you and the Russian lady are.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah. I didn't know how I was going to explain it
Oh,
if
man,
they
that's
came
funny.
walking in. But I had the best of
Listen,
intentions.
there was the place was empty. I'm gonna save them.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, it was a great day. Bella Hadid is getting real about her mental health. The 25-year-old model shared a raw post Tuesday saying that her life isn't as picture perfect as it may seem.
Who's this again, Preston? I'm sorry.
This is Bella Hadid.
Bella Hadid.
Is that your favorite Hadid?
I vastly like.
Oh, come
last
on.
week was a Gigi week.
No way.
I have to admit it.
It's got to be.
Yolanda Hadid. Well, that's the mom, right?
No. Now you're making fun of this legitimate thing here.
Which one lives?
Where do you stand?
One lives in the area, right?
Gigi's are
I think two
local,
of them. I
right?
think the mom and the daughter live here.
Well,
Which
I have
daughter?
nothing against Yolanda.
Which daughter, Kat?
Who's
Bella?
the-
Or,
It's Gigi.
Bella or Gigi?
Who just had the baby?
Gigi.
Gigi.
So
I'm
she
gonna say
shared
it one more time. Gigi.
She shared a video of Willow Smith that resonated with her. In it, Smith talked about her insecurities and not feeling good enough. Hadid had also included a gallery of selfies of herself crying and a candid caption about her mental health.
I'm so tired of on TikTok and Instagram videos of people filming themselves crying.
Oh, that's not the first thing you think to do when you're
the crying reaction. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, I like to keep that kind of person.
Yeah, and remember the mom who was busted with the
man.
kid in the front seat?
Trying to make her kid
Trying to
cry.
make the kid cry?
Yep.
There was I just watched one of somebody crying. And I was like, oh God, here we go.
Knock it off.
Another one. But wait, she was opening her own boutique. And that's why she was crying.
She
She
was
was like,
happy?
this has been a long road, and it's finally here, and I'm so happy to bring this to you guys because now you can shop all of my clothes in person.
Let's check in a year when she's crying when it fails.
My clothes. I was like, what is this?
Hey, a lot of small businesses.
I know.
Statistically. All right, well, anyway.
Not mine. My boutique is going great guns.
Hadid wrote, I love you and your words. It made me feel a little less alone, and that's why I'd like to post this. So she was commenting on a video of Willow Smith. Hadid reminded followers that they are not alone and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. She said, this is pretty much my everyday, every night for a few years now. Social media is not real.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, for anyone struggling, please remember that. Sometimes all you've got to hear is that you're not alone. So from me to you, you're not alone. I love you. I see you and I hear you.
No, it's just like the Na'vi in Avatar.
I see you.
Yeah.
Self-help and mental illness, chemical imbalance is not linear, and it's almost like flowing roller coaster of obstacles.
Okay, now she's losing me.
Ups and downs and size to size. Listen, people obviously, struggling with
depression.
Depression is a real thing. It's terrible. You've got conflicting things here. Social media is not real, she writes. Anyone struggling? Listen, you can find support on social media, but you can also find exactly what is pushing you down.
And
You know
pushing
what I
your
mean?
buttons. It is a construct. And we've said before, initially, when it had a much more benevolent, at least to me, it felt that way in the early, hey,
hooking
you're
people
on
up.
this too, hey.
Yeah.
And there is a very, very destructive part of social media now. If you're going to be on it, know the difference and don't let the heavy stuff bring you down, man.
She wrote,
Right,
anyways,
Yolanda.
not sure why, but it feels harder and harder to share my truth on here. Thank you for seeing me, and thank you for listening. I see you. I love you.
So look at this picture here on Instagram. You had to hold the camera.
All right, what we're looking at is a picture of her crying. It's a close-up of her tears. She's looking away, and I mean, that looks like a posed photograph.
Yeah, it does.
I have never cried and been like, hold on, let me get my phone.
I got an update to the new OS. 1 second here. Wait a second. Why is this thing going through?
Wait, the flash is on.
How do you flip the camera? I can't flip the camera.
You have to angle it just right.
I mean, this is ridiculous. This is.
The light isn't right. Wait 1 second.
I need another one. Hold on.
Can you come take this for me, please?
Yeah, that's not what I'm thinking about when I'm crying.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She keeps opening the wrong app that looks like the app for the
No,
phone.
that's not the Instagram. No, that's
If you thought that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga looked like a couple in love at the 2019 Oscars, it's because they planned it that way. I know that she has already said that, but he is finally saying something. He was talking to the Hollywood Reporter on Wednesday, and he had said that he wanted the performance to mimic the scene in the movie in order to help him manage his own fears about singing live. So I get it. Yeah,
absolutely.
He's playing a role.
And by the way,
he is in front of a bunch of musicians. Because it was, I'm sorry, it was at the Oscars.
At the Oscars, it's in front of the world, basically.
Yeah,
he's singing this song. They obviously have a very strong friendship.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. So it's friends, lovingly.
And they're performers.
Yes, they're liars.
They know they're playing a role. They're having fun with it.
They're paid liars.
So Cooper added, he said he shared, just from a personal standpoint, it reduces the anxiety level.
Well, listen, we're very good friends with Bradley Cooper.
We are.
And we know the way he is.
Incredibly
And we
close.
know how nervous he gets in situations like this. So if you knew him the way we knew him.
Steve, I sometimes will just place my hand on his knee.
Yeah.
And just,
it's okay.
A little touch.
Yeah.
A little human touch.
Makes a difference.
Calms him down a bit.
I can't believe you guys haven't brought up the fact that, like, Steve and I look at each other like that when we sing the Safe Light song.
Absolutely.
We totally get
It's
that.
so beautiful.
right?
True.
Yeah.
Every single time.
I just thought I'd let you guys have that. I didn't want to bring it out into the open.
I always say, find someone in your life who looks at me the way Casey looks at me during the Safe Light song.
Yeah.
Can we get that right now? Can you guys do that?
Casey's
I just love him so much.
Let's do it. We can do it. Ready?
Where's the microphone for a
All right,
dad?
turn away and then turn and look at each
Okay.
other. All right.
Hang
Just
on.
give us a
I
countdown.
got to get into character.
All right, hold it.
Okay.
Everybody. 3, 2, 1.
Safe Light Repair. Safe Light Replace.
Oh. my God. The
Wow.
lovely kiss was
That
blown.
was-
If we could get it, I don't know if it's possible to get a split screen on that or not.
And see, there's no
play that
real love there. That's all acting.
No.
They lie.
Well, you know what? You can't sing those words without being moved.
Mm-hmm.
They're not only repaired, but replaced.
Yes. As if the repair wasn't enough.
You fixed me,
Yeah.
and then you made me all new again.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And they'll
I'll
come-
repair
they'll-
you. I will
I
never
will come
replace
to where
you.
you are
Yeah.
if you're at your daughter's dance recital.
That's right.
Bradley
Yeah.
Cooper added that they kind of fall in love in that scene in the film. It's that explosive moment that happens to them on a stage in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
And it would have been so weird if we were both on stools facing the audience. So that's why they did it that way.
This is actually the first time that they rehearsed. They sang the Chicken Pot Pie.
33 WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Our next guest is performing now through the 19th at the Academy of Music in MJ the Musical. And he just so happens to be portraying MJ himself.
That's right.
Michael Jackson. Please welcome Mr. Jordan Markus to the show. Jordan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Hey, quick question about this show.
Yeah.
What is the format of this? Is this a showcase of Michael Jackson's music? Is it a story of his life? How does this play out?
It's a little bit of both. You know, it primarily takes place in 1992, right before the start of his Dangerous World Tour, and it's in a rehearsal room for the most part, and we get, some flashbacks to the Jackson 5 days, all the hits, the ABCs, the I'll Be There's, I Want You Backs, and, the Thriller Off the Wall days with him and Quincy Jones in the studio working on those albums, and, but it primarily takes place in the 90s, right before he kicks off his Dangerous World Tour, and really what it took to put that on its feet.
So 3 actors are playing. So I think it was my understanding as a kid, and then as a teen, and then adult Michael taking the world by storm.
Exactly.
Okay,
Steve,
and
yes.
that's where you come in.
Yeah, that's where I come in.
Okay. Wow, when you get the opportunity, and I understand you were doing another show when you were asked to audition for this. I mean, where do you even start? What song came to mind first as far as what you wanted to audition with when you were asked to audition for the role of Michael Jackson?
Oh my God! I mean, so many different songs came to mind. I luckily was able to narrow it down because they gave us a list. Because it would have taken me months to try to pick one. It's like picking a favorite child, but. I mean, I was doing a show out in San Diego, California at the time where I got the call, and my family just happened to be there on that day. We were at Universal Studios just on an off day, and I was in line for a Harry Potter ride, I believe. And I got the call asking me to come on tour. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best day ever.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
Harry
fun.
Potter and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, does it get better than that?
That's right, yeah.
Michael Jackson, pulling that off, that's a tall order. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 24 years old.
24 years old. How long have you been able to pretend to be Michael Jackson, to put on a Michael Jackson voice and to do the moves? Have you been doing that since you were a kid?
Well, I did. I loved Michael as a child. I would always, play his videos on repeat and just try to emulate everything he was doing on the screen. Just
Did you play the video game?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that game. Oh, it was a staple in my house.
Oh,
truly.
was it? Yeah.
We got really competitive over that game. But no, I mean, I've always been inspired by him. I didn't start, playing the role of Michael until this show specifically, but I feel like it's always been a part of me.
Okay.
So you were 9 when he passed away?
I was.
It's kind of wild because Preston, we were talking about this earlier. You've got the singing, and then you've got the dancing, and you've got it. Not only, some people talk about the moonwalking, but you watch videos of Michael Jackson doing that 50-mile-an-hour spin that he would do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, thankfully we have some of Michael's former dancers and choreographers working with us on this show. Rich and Tone Talawega, if you know their names, they are amazing and they really know their craft.
Hey, asking about that, Steve, I've never really thought about that. That spin that Michael can do.
It's insane.
Is that on the... Now, do you do that move, I assume?
Oh,
where you will
yeah.
spin around multiple
Oh,
times?
yeah.
Is that on the ball of your feet? How does that actually work?
It is. That's a great question, Preston.
Okay.
It is on the ball of my feet. I'll give you the tricks of the trade here.
Okay.
Can you do it on a carpet?
I wish I could.
You set yourself on fire.
I would, yeah. It's like on the ball of his left foot. If you really zoom in, I've watched so much footage of him trying to do this.
On the ball of his left, on your left foot.
Your right
Okay.
foot is just floating off the ground. and
No
the ball
kick,
of
so
your
that's
left
on
foot.
one foot.
Yep, you
Jesus.
just really have to balance on it. You got to hold it. You got to hold it.
Jordan, when you're doing a performance like this, like how, and it's an icon, one of the most iconic people, literally of all time. How do you balance from portraying him versus doing an impression of him? You know, and the last thing I'm sure you want to do is mock him. So how do you find that balance?
I'm so glad you said that, Nick. I think the balance comes in relating my own story to his, because obviously, you know, I haven't actually been Michael Jackson.
Right.
But
Wait, rip off.
We've all. I want my money back. No. We've all, you know, felt feelings like that he's felt, like the weight of the world on your shoulders. We've all felt that at one point. We've all felt loneliness. We've all felt happiness. We've all felt passion for, you know, love of something that we do in our lives, something that we want to share with the world. And he was the most passionate about doing something that he loved, and I just admire that so much. And I think really melding the two, me and Michael together, helps me not impersonate him or mock him in a way, but really just personalize it and share that with everybody else.
I think you in this role. I mean, you know, you talk about Timothy Chalamet is doing Dylan now, and people are talking about, you know, how amazing the performance is.
Yeah.
You know, I would posit the notion that this is 11 levels past that. You didn't have. I mean, because and everyone says he does a great job, but you a global star. You know, at this level where everyone is sort of very intricately aware of all the mannerisms and all that stuff. How much, if you were to guesstimate, how many hours of video you watched in preparation for this?
Ooh, if I were to just guess and throw a number out, I want to at least 200 and counting.
Yeah.
At least.
No
and
doubt.
I mean, it's the most fun work, don't get me wrong, but I'm still scouring the internet for a video that I haven't seen yet.
What helped you the most? Because there's so much available. I mean, that documentary that he did was with the last one that was of him rehearsing for the O2 arena. What was that?
The This Is It tour?
This is it, yeah.
And it never came to be. But and I remember when I was like, I half-assed watched it one night when it came on. And that's just in the preparation stage. And I don't care where you stand on Michael Jackson. But if you watch that, it's pretty friggin' amazing.
Oh, yeah. And mind you, he's 50 years old in this documentary.
Yeah.
He's going for it you know, in rehearsal.
Okay, if you had to choose between one or the other, he or Chamon?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be one of the hardest questions I've ever done. Oh, my God.
Chamon. Chamon.
I love...
Can you?
I love a
do that?
Chamon.
I know, right? I do too.
It's so good.
I do too.
It's so good.
Was it his version of saying like "come on," or just some just like scatting that word, kind of Chamon?
Yeah, I like to believe that it was his version of "Come On" because "Come On" just didn't feel soulful enough.
Yeah.
Chamon.
Yeah, just Chamon.
So given your druthers, all right, Chamon over he, and you went, whoo! I didn't even think about that.
I didn't even mean to do that. I just.
So you.
Oh my God!
Wow. That's a good one.
That's a good one too.
So over the years, I can do the talking, you know,
The lighter, yeah.
But we forget that was offset by.
Yeah.
So what does it do to your voice to do the show? 3 hours running time?
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours with intermission. You know, it's.
What are you doing to protect?
It's all about balance. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because there are high highs and low lows. You know,
and he's.
I walked right into that one. I did.
Nick had just pulled up your Instagram account, and it was you recounting what a full day is like in your line of work. And I've seen that before from Broadway performers. And there was a woman that I watched not long ago, and her day starts very early and goes through a series of not all vocal warm-ups, but doing stuff that is specifically for the voice.
Yes.
And treating it a certain way through the course of the entire day, just to be able to perform that night.
Yep.
Are you also that conscious of how you're treating your voice through the day before a performance?
Oh, absolutely. I think to do this role justice, you have to be. I try not to talk at all after the show.
Really?
Until, at least a few hours after I wake up the next day. Just, because, when you first wake up, your voice isn't ready yet. And it's like, you're all groggy. And it's like, I let it warm up. I listen to my body and I let my voice do what it needs to do.
Because it's your moneymaker.
Yeah.
Have you, in fact, adopted a chimpanzee?
Not yet. I want to. I at least want to visit one. I
You
think
do
they're
have your
really
dog with you, though, right?
I
Your
do.
dog.
Oh my
That's your
gosh. That's my Bubbles. Yeah. I'll make it his middle name. His name's Milo. I love Milo.
So,
Bubbles.
how taxing is a show? Like, how spent are you at show close? You do your final bows. When it's all said and done, like, I'm sure that you have sweated out almost your entire body weight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to track how many calories I lose each show, but I mean it is very taxing.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very exhausting to do this work. But I mean, the only time I really do think about it is once the final bow happens, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just did all that. Because when you're in it, it's you're having so much
It's
fun.
going to be nothing like it in the world.
Nothing.
Is it true that you in high school were on a basketball track, but an injury set you off on a different path?
Yeah, my injury derailed me. My left knee, the good old knees.
Here you are.
So were you doing sports and arts at the same time in high school?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I decided to just focus on the arts after the injury, and I think I made a good choice.
Yeah, you're doing wonderful.
Thank you.
Is there a moment in the show that is for you personally as the performer, like, okay, I got to get this part right, or this is the most difficult part of the evening? Is there one part that kind of stands out as that for you?
I'll say it changes every night.
Okay,
honestly,
All right.
depending on the day I've had, the most difficult parts of the show could be choreography wise, they could be vocally, they could be a scene that I really want to nail, like pacing wise, and really be present in the moment. It's all because it's live theater. It's a different show every night, even though we're saying the same lines and singing the same songs. So it depends on the day.
Speaking of which song do you like? Which performance? Yeah,
performance wise. Yeah.
I'll say in this show specifically, performance wise, it's between Billie Jean and Smooth Criminal.
Okay.
Both of those numbers are
Smooth Criminals.
They're so electric.
I wanted to ask about Smooth Criminal because Moonwalk gets a lot of press and Thriller gets a lot of press, and deservedly so. But Smooth Criminal, the lean in that is remarkable and incredible. And I know some of it's like video trickery or whatever. How do you approach that on stage?
Well, on stage, I love the way that Christopher Wheeldon choreographed this lean because it's very in the moment. It's very... At that moment in the show, he's taking inspiration from, Bob Fosse, Fred Astaire, all of the Nicholas brothers, all his dance heroes. And it's very Fosse-esque the way this lean happens. And the ensemble is with me doing it. So it's not even just me, which is really, really, really cool. But it's something you have to behold to understand.
Yeah, I think in that video they did use like the room moved or something like that, so it appered that they could do defy gravity,
right?
Well,
in a
to
sense
that
of
point,
leaning, which is pretty awesome.
There is a magician trick where there is a hook on the floor with shoes. Is that how you guys are doing it?
You're good.
Yeah,
You're good.
No kidding.
I won't say that's how we do it in the show, but in Michael's live shows, there were hooks on the bottom of the shoes, which still takes a tremendous amount
Imagine
of
holding
leg
your
strain.
body that way. Yeah,
none of it matters. Listen, we all love magic. We all love live magic. We know that they're not actual wizards. You know what I mean? We know that there's a trick to it. I was watching something the other day about Frozen. So they're in the Let It Go thing, where right in front of your eyes, her wardrobe changes, and you're like, how the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
And then I finally saw the magic behind it. It doesn't take away from it.
In fact, I would posit that it makes you more impressed because, as you
Absolutely.
said, just to hold your body on a lean like that
and pull it back up, the strength that takes. Michael was strong. He was a strong man.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. I mean, the even though he was very thin and looked frail, the dude was.
Oh no,
he was bad. He was. You ain't nothing. You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. Do we have some bad? Yeah.
Of course we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is my pre-show song. This is the last song I hear before I walk out on stage.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You look at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself you're bad.
Oh yeah, it just exudes that confidence, you know. It's
Do you pull the grate off the wall and let the air?
So how many, can you tell us about the production? Like, how many cast members are there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are, I don't know exactly how many are there. There are about 20 to 25 of us on stage. You know, our ensemble is the best in the business. We have swings who are off stage who fill, I want to say, like 5 or 6 roles each in the show. Actually, I think today is National Swing Day.
Is it really?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so, and they are, I mean, as I'm sure you've heard before, the backbone of the theater industry. Like, anytime anyone is out of the show, they step in seamlessly and fulfill the role.
To that point, and I wanted to ask this question because I don't understand it. Now, Casey's daughter is into theater very much, as is Casey. And we all have our shows that we love.
Mm-hmm.
So understudy, alternate,
yes,
and then the main, is it when you're the main person?
Yes.
So, and each of them has their pros and cons because understudy, you never know when you're going to go on.
True.
Multiple roles sometimes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What roles? So obviously, we would assume from the outside that knowing you're locked in as the main role with a consistent schedule is the best. Is it? It has to be, right?
In a lot of ways, yes.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, yes, it is. Like you said, there are pros and cons to all of them. I mean, I went up the ranks in this show specifically. I was the standby when I first started and came in like not knowing anything about the show and just was learning everything and would go on whenever I had to, you know. And then
you never know when you're going to.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So always being ready was a big part of the gig.
Well, a question about that, being an understudy or an alternate. So the mains are up there every night, every day. They're doing the show. They don't have to think about it at that point because it's so ingrained in what they've been doing. Yet you, as an understudy or an alternate, are you rehearsing as well all the time just to be ready for it? You are with other alternates and other understudies.
Yeah, yeah. We have the swings.
So
I
you guys
mentioned
do that when the
before, we
theater's
all do it.
closed, or
we do it during the day on stage, and then like if we have a rehearsal studio at night, we used to go in there like during the show and run the show with the audio, just to make sure we had it in our bodies. But yeah, it was a good time, you know, and I'm thankful for that time.
Jordan, you know if anybody from the Jackson family has seen it? And then also, is there any way that you could get Weird Al to come see it? Because that would be pretty awesome.
Oh, my God. I can't believe we haven't thought of that yet. Oh, my God. Weird Al, that would be so cool.
Yeah,
he has
right?
to come see it. Yeah, a few of the Jackson family members have come to see the show. I know Jackie's been there a couple times.
I assume they had to sign off on some of it, right?
Yeah, the estate has to sign off on everything we do, just because, you know, we don't want to step on any toes.
Right.
And, you know, this is a legacy we're upholding at the end of the day. So, yeah, a few of his brothers have come to see it. They've really liked it. So, it's a really nice stamp of approval.
So let me ask you. You have a couple albums. You're a singer songwriter yourself.
Yes.
Is your own music? Would you liken it to Michael, or is it completely different?
I will say,
is it like thrash metal?
It's definitely thrash metal. No, I'm just kidding. I would liken it to being Michael inspired, definitely, because he's always had a huge part in my musical journey. I try to not, you know, mimic anything that he's done just because, he's Michael. No one's going to touch him.
Right.
I do my own thing because that's how I feel. And I have, you know, other inspirations as well that all pour into who I am as an artist. And, you know, a little pop, R&B, a little bit of a soul, funk, rock. Everything is really in what I like to create. And, you know, I'm excited to create more throughout this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
If you're just tuning in, it's Jordan Markus. He's playing the lead in MJ the Musical, playing Michael Jackson. And the show is now through the 19th at the Academy of Music. You can get tickets at ensembleartsphilly.org. Actually, a phone call here. I have somebody who saw the show opening night. It's John who's on the line. Hey, John, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, bud?
Dude, what a show.
Yeah?
I mean, seriously. I am a 56-year-old overweight white guy, and for 2.5 hours, I was a 19-year-old, slightly overweight white guy. Amazing.
No kidding.
I took my 4 kids who weren't, my wife, my 4 kids who weren't really, well, my wife is, but the 4 kids, a little into them, but we left that show. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's awesome.
You have the means. If you have the opportunity, go see this show.
Wow.
It is awesome.
How
Thank
about
you,
that?
John. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, John, we appreciate it.
I've never said, I said Shimon and Yee or Hee like 30,000 times in the last week.
Well, there you go. Mission accomplished.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Excellent, John.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, buddy. We'll see you. All right, big fan right there. Are you, Jordan, are you naturally soft-spoken like this? Because people are texting in and saying,
I think over the course of being in this show, I've become more soft-spoken just because it really does help your voice.
Yeah.
It really does. And I was always skeptical. I'm like, I wonder why, because not even just Michael, like a lot of artists are very soft-spoken. And I'm like, I wonder why they speak that way. But now I know because they have to perform every
Well,
night.
also look at I think it's a natural thing. Look at what happened. Austin Butler played Elvis, and he admitted that for a while after
it's hard to shake.
It's hard to
sometimes.
shake it. Yeah, if that's what you're doing. I mean, that's you're so accustomed to it.
Yeah, I've never been like a super loud. Even my family will tell you I've never super loud. I was always a quiet kid. But I think I'm more conscious of it now because of the show.
Yeah.
So you have people playing Quincy Jones. They said all the other people, and they're playing multiple roles as well.
Mm-hmm.
So who does Quincy, the actor playing Quincy, who else does he play in the show?
The actor Joss A. Dawson.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He's a brother of mine. I love him to death. He plays Quincy Jones and Tito.
Wow.
Which is a super crazy coincidence because they both passed this last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we feel their energy on stage every night through him. And, he's phenomenal, switching from both of those roles. Devin Bowles, who plays our character Rob, who is our tour manager and kind of Michael's right-hand man, and also Joe Jackson.
Wow.
He switches seamlessly between the two roles.
Yeah.
We have
Does he set up a kiosk and sell his cologne on stage? Remember Joe was doing that at the end?
At the funeral.
At the funeral.
Right at the funeral, he's promoting his cologne business.
They could make a movie just about Joe, to be honest.
Wow.
Good. Honestly, they might.
There you go.
Jordan, I won't ask you to sing anything for us because obviously you want to keep your voice tuned for the show.
I appreciate that.
But is there any chance you could do a little physical movement for us? I know this is radio, but Michael just had a way about him, almost like not. Well, I guess some of it's popping and locking and a little bit of that, but almost like a. He could do the robot, and he had control over every joint movement.
There's a fluidity that he had. That's and he incorporated James Brown and Little Richard and all those the giants, and he himself became one. But it seemed. It's just nobody moved like that.
I'm not asking you to dance or anything, but I mean, like, even like the,
right now,
just a little set that he would do. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he, like you said, he had full control over all of his joints. Anything from like a flick of the wrist to this little finger thing he used to do. Yeah. And he would wear the tape on his fingers so that people would pay attention to all the gestures that he would pull out.
I love that.
At any
He's
point,
doing it right now.
He's such a master, so smart.
Why is that so exciting to see? Because
just seeing you do that.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah.
Can you do like the neck thing?
The neck.
I will be later once I stretch. Still from the show last night.
We cripple you with the lower lip bite too.
Yeah, so speaking of which,
that was pretty good.
Thank you.
I do want to thank you for being here this morning because I know that you had a show last night. You got a show tonight. Like you're in the middle of this right now, and luckily there are like 4 more days. All right, so 4 more days of performances. How many performances? It's one, right?
We have 8 performances a week, so we have 7 shows left.
Oh.
Yeah.
In this, I think the next 5 days.
So
yeah.
Yeah. So people better jump in quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And where are you off to next after here?
We go to Providence, Rhode Island after this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And so this is a U.S. tour, right?
Yeah, this is a U.S. tour. We have different companies around the world. Like we just opened a German company not too long ago. Australia's opening up next month.
You will beat it.
Oh my God!
I think you scared him a little bit.
We know you know how to beat it.
So I hear you're a smooth criminal.
I forgot what I was going to ask. That was great, man. All right. Well, anyhow. I was going to ask how much of this time of your time is this going to take up for the next year or so? How many months on the road?
Until at least December. I'm excited to. Yeah.
Look at you. That's phenomenal.
2025 will be MJ for me, which is, a dream come true.
And this your first Broadway show of this level?
Yeah.
Your first?
This is my first.
It's pretty good one to attach to.
Right? Yeah. It's a good way to step in.
All right. Well, we'll mention it again. The Academy of Music. It is MJ the Musical, and the shows. It says now through January 19th. Wait, the 19th, right? Yeah. It says 29th
Sunday.
up there. So 19th. All right. Just want to make sure people get that right. EnsembleArtsPhilly.org. Jordan, great to meet you. Enjoy the rest of your time in Philly and enjoy 2025.
Thank you all. You too. Thank you.
That is Jordan Markus, guys, on the Preston and Steve Show, starring in MJ the Musical. All right, we are going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure you stay right there, friend. Wait, do you want to do Safe Light Repair like that now? We're looking at the video where they're kind of heads leaning against each other. Oh, no. Oh, yes, we're going to get this now.
Hey, go on. Well, you got to come behind because you got to come behind me because you're taller. Like this? Yeah.
We are getting this on camera, right?
Yeah. Well, where's the camera at? Right here? Yeah. Can you count us off, Preston?
3, 2, 1.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Dear God in heaven.
Wow. How was that? Was that good? Thank you.
I was convinced.
Bravo!
Thank you. Can I just... We are involved with other people.
Yes.
I have the deepest respect for Diane, and I know Casey.
And Claire.
Yeah.
And your cats.
And my cat.
More on the creepy side for me.
You don't know what that song means to us.
I know, I guess.
She sounds a little jealous, does she not?
I'm getting that.
I think you guys. I don't think you were harmonizing though. I think you were in unison on that.
Our hearts were harmonized.
Our hearts were harmonized.
So the monetary donations for Camp Out for Hunger continued until the day before Thanksgiving, and the final tally of money that you donated at Acme Markets is $1,454,710.
Just amazing.
And that added to our final monetary donation, with everything added in, for Camp Out for Hunger this year was $1,802,000 to help feed people in this area.
Oh, my God, another banner year.
$1.8 million, and you put that on over 2.3 million pounds of food.
I mean, again, another situation where you figured, how are we going to get to that point? How are we going to top the miracle that was last year? And look what people just step up. They're amazing.
Yep. It's pretty incredible. So thank you. Before we get into our concert announcement and music news, Nick, what were you laughing so hard at right before that started? Or do we even want to know?
You want to know.
Okay.
I just want to take a seat, Preston, and I got my little chair here.
Oh,
and I didn't do it again. Oh, there we go. And somehow, Casey found a way to rig it so that it just slowly descends.
I took video. I took video.
Okay.
You did?
How did you do this?
All right, so stand up and you'll
because
see.
it'll go back up.
Yeah.
So there's a handle that will allow you to lower the seat, and I assume he taped it, right?
He tied it.
I tied it with a bandana.
That took work. I'm impressed.
So it just sinks down slowly.
I was just so glad.
Cool.
I didn't know how I was going to react, and I was just so grateful that it didn't
slam down
and have you fall.
You got to be careful.
All I heard was everybody in on this but me?
You had your headphones on.
I
think.
saw Casey come over here and tie it, and I go, "Are you trying to kill him?" And he goes, "No, but his chair will sink when he sits in it."
Where'd you get that idea?
I don't even know.
It came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. I saw the bandana sitting there.
Okay.
And Nick wasn't there. I was like, I wonder if I could. I mean, it was like lightning fast how the synapses were firing.
Okay. Not as permanent, but definitely some pain involved. Florence Pugh, the actress, recently pierced her nose, but confessed that she fainted in the process.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
She captioned an Instagram photo that says, "When you want to be a cool grown-up and get a cool new piercing and you instantly fail, go green and then faint."
All right, so Kathy, did you faint when you got your not your ears pierced, but you got your belly button pierced?
Nah, I didn't.
She had a nipple pierced.
I didn't
know.
faint.
I didn't want to bring that up.
What's that?
I didn't want to
How
bring
can
that
you
up.
not bring that up? You're obligated to bring that up. Are you kidding me?
Case, my problem is looking at it. If I see it
Yeah.
happen, I'm out like a light.
Okay, so Florence went with the septum, the middle part.
Okay.
Okay. I dig. I like a nose piercing, like the
Off to the side?
Yeah, the nostril.
Yeah.
What do they call it? That's usually a stud, is it not? Yeah. Stud.
Yeah, the septum thing, sometimes it looks like you get boogers hanging out of your nose.
It's just gross.
I don't like that. Yeah, the
But I
booger
do
thing
like-
is real.
I do like the stud.
Yeah.
I think that can be cute.
It's good if you're a bull. I think it works quite nicely.
My girlfriend has one.
She has
Wait,
a
the
septum
septum?
piercing?
Yeah.
She does?
I didn't know that.
I never
Yeah.
even noticed.
Yep, she has it. She doesn't wear it all the time, and she removed it for several years, and then put it back in recently, and it never closed, which she was surprised by. I
Wow.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looks good on her.
What does she wear? Is it a hoop?
Like a little hoop. Yeah,
There it is.
A little hoop.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that I don't like that. I just prefer the stud. But so speaking of bull, Steve, when I was a kid, we had the shower curtain rings.
Yes.
I would take those off the shower curtain and put them in my nose like I was a bull.
Startling revelation on the Preston and Steve show this morning.
Okay.
Casey Boy, producer, admitted he used shower rings to look like a bull. We go down to Jim Ilkushevsky outside of One Ballot Plaza. Jim, what's going on out there? Crowd has already started to form, Tom. People want to get the exclusive on the interview.
Okay.
Can I go down for an interview?
All right, so let me ask you this. Would you look in the mirror and make noises?
Well, I don't know about the noises, but everything I did, dude.
Did you make a face?
I spent so much time in front of the bathroom mirror as a child. I used to pierce my own ears. I would I spent a lot of time making faces and
Wow.
I know.
But I'm
You guys make fun of me.
And then he would go back to college.
I was just curious what level you took it to. Would you actually stomp on the ground?
No.
You didn't do anything
That'd
like
be
that?
stupid, Preston.
Yeah, come on,
Come on.
man.
He was just making faces in the mirror.
It's just silly. By the way, to make Casey feel better, if you've ever taken a shower ring and pretended to be a bull, text in and let us know.
please
about
let
it.
us know.
And if you have one now and you could do a picture, we'd love to see
Yeah,
it.
that'd be great.
Without a doubt, I am not the only one to ever do that.
No, listen, I'm sure. I'm
Without
sure
a
I've
doubt.
done it, for
Yeah.
Christ's sake.
Somewhere in America
Yeah.
has done it.
There's probably a commune of people who do nothing but that.
Here's a supportive one.
Is that a BR commune? Yeah, that's a bull ring
Here,
commune.
this says, I used to pretend I was the bull in the Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And this guy, he and his cousin used to put helmets on and use pen tablecloths to charge at each other like bulls. But he
One
didn't
was a
think,
bull and one was the matador.
Yeah.
He says, didn't think of the shower curtain ring, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The accessory you never knew you needed.
I know this is like Hollywood celebrity news, but why did they put the ring in the bull's nose? What was that all about?
You know, I think that's how they would actually lead the bull.
Yeah, I think they could
Oh!
connect. They could connect a lead to it.
Okay.
And
That makes perfect
or they could
And most
essentially leash them up somewhere, and,
All right.
and they're not going to go anywhere.
And isn't the fact that most bulls are goth, sort of? They're
Yeah, I
the
think so.
cages and stuff.
Yeah, they do the
Close to
ear
them.
Yeah.
stuff
body
too.
mod.
Yeah. All right, let me see. Nick, anybody texting in? One person said they've done the shower curtain ring in the nose thing, but I don't know if they were pretending to be a bull or not.
No,
It
it could have
does
been, something
Well,
entirely
I
different.
don't necessarily. I wasn't. You guys said I was pretending to be a bull.
Well,
I
you
used to
pretending
say-
to have a piercing?
No, you did.
Well, I got the idea from the bull. Right, like
I got the idea
never
from
made,
the bull.
I got the idea. I didn't.
Why don't you pretend that you're me?
Let the court record show that Preston, you asked if I made noises like a bull, and I did not.
I thought that was
I
after
would like
you
to have audio
intimated.
from what we spoke about earlier, because you said I
Yeah.
would look in the mirror
Yeah.
and pretend to be a bull.
All right, let's check it. We
we
have
have
a way of finding
We
out.
have to check the tape. You
We
may
do.
be right. But
Well, what did you do?
I put a shower ring on my nose like an idiot.
For what reason?
I don't
To look like a bull.
To look like a bull, I guess.
That's what
I don't know.
That's what I think he said.
All right.
But we could be wrong.
But I
Maybe
didn't
we just
pretend to
assumed.
be a bull. There's a difference. There's a difference between trying to look like a bull and
pretending to be a bull.
Yes.
Pretending means you would adopt a lifestyle.
And I would not do that.
Right.
Because, bulls are ornery creatures, man.
I don't like the way they live.
her ornery creatures, man.
Yeah, that was my Lebowski right there.
That's what I thought.
I thought you were doing like you almost
Austin
sounded
Powers.
like Austin Powers.
No, that was more Lebowski than anything
They're
else.
ornery creatures, man.
I'm a Brahma bull, baby.
Kathy, I'm trying to reel this back.
You are?
Yeah, I'm trying.
You started it.
Jesus.
Holy moly.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to move on to another story.
Okay.
We'll wait and find out that we'll find the tape.
Don't
here.
worry, we'll go back to this.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it may run through the entire show this morning. We have a clip of you from earlier.
Okay,
on the show,
all right.
So we'll see. Let's see what this is. This was Casey. Let's see if he says he would pretend to be a bull or not. Here we go.
So speaking of bull, Steve, when I was a kid, we had the shower curtain rings.
Yes.
I would take those off the shower curtain and put them in my nose like I was a bull.
Okay. Like I was a bull. I didn't
For the
say I
very
was-
first time.
I think there's a difference between pretending to be a bull and
Adopting the lifestyle.
I didn't go.
One could say that there is a point at which they sort of Venn diagram a little bit.
So if you put on clown makeup,
Right.
like a full clown makeup, the wig and everything,
And I didn't do the voice and all that stuff.
you're not pretending to be
I'm
a
just
clown. at that
dressed like
point.
a clown.
Okay, so you
Okay.
were
Yeah.
dressed like a bull.
Yeah.
You were just dressed like a bull.
That's it.
Where are you going out looking like a bull? Where are you going to tonight looking like a bull?
Casey, you've been vindicated. Congratulations. Amber has an interesting tradition. I'm going to go to her. Amber, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Amber?
So much. I just the Christmas trees. The prices have been so crazy the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
We kind of started a new tradition in our family. When we go out to get the Christmas tree, we go up to them. We just ask them for show us the ugliest Christmas trees that you can, and we kind of make a game and see how pretty we can make it.
So
And we usually
you
just
like
give them to us.
like Charlie Brown it up then?
Yeah,
I love
as
it.
early as we can get it, and I tell my daughter every Christmas tree deserves, or every tree deserves a Christmas.
That's a good.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, that's cool.
That's cute.
If you can do that, that's I'm down with that.
So you take an
Yeah.
ugly tree and you try to make it a beautiful tree.
Yeah, and you have they come out awesome, but when we first bring them in the house, it's like, oh my God, they have 3 needles on them.
My wife tells the story of my father-in-law. They were 9 kids and a big, huge family, and they'd get a lesser level tree, and my father-in-law would get a drill, very handy. He would remove branches from the back of the tree, drill holes, and put
It's like a hair replacement for men.
Basically, is what he was doing, and
funny.
fill out the tree.
All right.
And so they would get the tree up to decorating
I love
level,
that.
and it looked great.
That woman, Amber, said something that I think could be turned into a Christmas story. Every tree deserves a Christmas.
Yeah.
I think that could be a kid's book, don't you think?
Or the loneliest tree at the lot, the one that doesn't.
Yeah.
Right, right. That's overlooked all the time.
But then a wonderful thing happens. It gets thrown into a wood chipper.
Right.
It's like a turn.
Then a wonderful thing, like Jimmy Durante.
Yeah.
But then they chucked it into the wood chipper.
Yeah. They start with its feet.
Oh, dear God! Make it stop!
You see its little animated head with its mouth gaping open, and it's the last to go in.
Branchy was the last tree
Branchy.
in the lot. He was all dried up. Hardly anything left on him. But then Bill, the kindly owner, slowly fed him into a wood chipper.
If someone has the animation capabilities to turn that last little segment into a animated short, I would greatly appreciate that, because I don't know about you guys, but I had a vision in my head of what that looked like. Branchy.
So many.
Branchy.
Does it look like your year this year, Branchy?
Then it happened on, Christmas Day.
But I got you a surprise. A brand new Fuji wood chipper.
Well, what am I going to do with this?
Oh, my God.
Just go to sleep.
All right, so I have another. Would you guys So I have a story of a mathematician, and while I was thinking about it, is that really considered science?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's used in science, but it's its own subject.
Let's
as
take
well.
that angle. It's used in science.
The reason I bring this up is because Jacques Tits died.
Oh, my God.
The mathematician behind Tits Buildings, the Tits Alternative, the Tits Group, and the Tits Metric
Stop it. Yeah.
has passed away at 91.
Why'd you pick this story?
Well,
he's a
because he was an
mathematician.
important man.
Oh, all right. That's why.
Belgian-born mathematician Jacques Tits.
This is wild because he died in the same week Heinrich von Butthole died.
Oh, no. Oh, what a loss.
Who revolutionized calculus.
What a
We
loss.
lost Tits and Butthole in the same week.
I know.
Oh, my God.
What was his name?
Heinrich von Butthole.
Heinrich von Butthole. Well,
MMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
brought to you by LaSalle University. Advance your career at LaSalle University, and you can choose from over 30 graduate and certificate programs. Visit lasalle.edu/grad-open-house to get started. In Virginia Beach, court documents detail a meetup for sex that was arranged by a police officer and ended with his car being stolen by the prostitute he hired.
Whoops.
Police said the officer has since been terminated from the department, but could not.
Why?
They couldn't comment on why, it says here. J. Ron Harry was a Hampton police officer when court documents said he met 20-year-old Alexis Dream Copeland on an app. The document stated he told police he hired Dream for sex on December 30th.
A man has needs.
They detailed the meetup at the apartment. So Harry told police he sent $100 in Apple Pay transactions to Dream for sex. Court documents said they laid in bed before Harry said they'd agree to shower together. Harry said Dream never joined him in the shower. Instead, he got out, realized his phone, keys, wallet, and car
Dream
with his police credentials
Dream?
inside were gone.
I'm looking for Dream.
He called police using a neighbor's phone and explained what happened.
Dream turned into a nightmare.
They were able to track down his vehicle with two people inside. Dream and a man she said to police was her baby daddy.
It was a nightmare.
Police told Dream told the police the officer that the officer had agreed to let her use his car. She admitted that Harry did not give her permission, though, to use any cards from his wallet, which documents say she did. Despite her version of events, Dream was arrested, and J. Ron Harry is not facing any charges, but his employment was terminated.
So yeah, he's working the night. I'm going to get the shower going. I'm going to go downstairs and get us some pub cheese.
He had a plan.
He had a plan.
It was interrupted. All right, an irate Karen screaming profanities at a motorist encouraged him to stop and step outside of his car. The driver remained inside. This is from video footage. But the passenger, a guy wearing pajama bottoms, answers her call. And after some more expletives, she hits the passenger, seemingly unprovoked. And he responded with a punch to the face and a body slam on the woman, leaving her writhing in pain in the middle of the road.
Like a full body slam.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's a scene that the Toledo, Ohio Chamber of Commerce would rather you not see. Fortunately for the participants, their identities remain a mystery. There's no paper trail, no police report. It's just another anonymous surveillance camera video entry. We first see the woman emerge from a blue car after it comes into a screeching halt on slush-covered street. A red sedan stops behind her. She jumps out of the car, walking briskly toward the red vehicle. Pleasantries were ignored, and you can hear her say, "Let's go, get out of the effing car." The man in the pajamas emerges from the passenger. From the passenger side instead. She continued screaming at the other driver who warns her, "Don't touch my car." She said, "I didn't touch your effing car. You were on my ass." And she turns her attention to the passenger, telling him, "My man's right effing there. Come put your effing hands on me." After a brief exchange, she tells him to get out of my face. The guy turns around. He starts walking away. She pops him in the face from behind.
Yeah, she does.
And that's when he turns around, punches her in the face, picks her up, and slams her to the ground.
Kathy, watch this.
I know.
You've seen it,
He,
yeah.
like body slams are like it's a wrestling event.
I know. And listen, he got popped in the face from her, so I know it's not the right thing to do to a woman, but you also can't go punching people in the face. So it's a pretty wild video, and that is out there and available for you to see. All right, we're going to move on to a different story. A guy named Joe Valladium Can't help but wonder what could have happened if he had lingered outside his front door for just a couple minutes longer before taking his dogs for a walk. Because just seconds later, a meteorite plummeted onto the front walkway of his home. This is in Marshfield, Prince Edward Island. And it shattered on impact with a reverberating smack. And the shocking thing, he said, for me, is that I was standing right there a couple of minutes right before that impact. He said, if I'd have seen it, I probably would have been standing right there, and it probably would have ripped me in half. Luckier still, though, his home security camera actually caught both video and audio of the meteorite's crash landing. And scientists believe that this could be the first time that both sound and visuals of a meteorite strike has ever been recorded.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Have you seen video? Have you seen the video?
I didn't see the video, but I saw the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
Chris Hurd of the University of Alberta's Meteorite Collection, he's the curator, said it's not anything that we've ever heard of before from a science perspective.
Did you see what happened after that? The meteor stole an Amazon package.
When Valadium returned home from his walk and discovered an unusual dark debris all over his walkway and lawn, he checked the camera footage and was shocked to see the mini explosion that took place in the exact spot where he had been standing. A friend advised him that the object could have been a meteorite, so he began collecting the samples of the debris. And some of those samples, about 7 grams worth, were sent to Hurd in Edmonton. Upon examination of photos and fragments, Hurd confirmed the discovery was, in fact, a meteorite. By chance, he had planned a family trip to Prince Edward Islands and after that and was able to swing by and pick it up. About 95 grams of fragment were collected from the crash site in total.
Yeah.
And analysis confirmed the samples to be from an ordinary chondrite, which is the most common type of space rock that strikes our planet.
So we're watching Sam called up the video. Now, at traveling at that velocity, no matter how small it is, that'd be like, I don't know, would it be like a bullet?
It would be.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah. So the guy actually caught that on camera. Pretty wild. People who have affairs often think that they've done an excellent job of covering their tracks, but one expert is pointing out they're not always as clever as they think they are. Cass, who is a private investigator from Australia, is sharing the details of what she calls one of her wildest cases involving a cheating husband and how she helped catch him in the act. So in a TikTok video, she explains that her client, the wife, was pretty sure her husband was up to something. She became suspicious after he started making frequent trips from their home in Queensland to New South Wales to visit his family, which he rarely did before. So the wife checked into their joint bank accounts and saw purchases from a hardware store chain called Bunnings and a grocery store chain, Kohl's, but there were no specific locations attached to the transaction, so she couldn't prove anything. And that's when Cass suggested the wife check their joint supermarket rewards accounts.
Ah, yeah.
She did, and it showed purchases with the suburbs where the stores were located. It turns out he was shopping in a suburb where his ex-girlfriend lives, nowhere near the family that he was supposedly visiting. The Aussie investigator joked that he got $10 off of shopping, but a very expensive divorce out of that. So she
smart.
used the rewards program to track him down and bust him. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, Kathy, we got a big prize for secret text word today. Give me a number. Bigger than 10, though, if you could.
Ooh, bigger than 10.
Yeah.
Number 11.
Oh, my God.
Wow. You went nuts.
I knew you were going to do that. All right.
Don't tell me what to do.
215-263-WMMR. Caller number 11. You need to know the secret text word in order to win the Metallica tickets, so make sure that you do know that word when you call. We'll get a random text winner as well when we come back. Stay with us. We'll return shortly. Tits passed away on Sunday, leaving behind a legacy.
He's left an opening.
Why'd you pick this story?
Leaving behind a legacy of research in group theory and geometry, his tendency to name his contributions after himself suggests that he knew his tits' power. By the way, what is group theory? Because it sounds reminiscent of, well, no, that was governing dynamics, of the guy in Beautiful Mind.
Oh,
and I've forgotten his name.
Let's call him Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, you know. Miranda Otto, who is in the Lord of the Rings realm.
Preston, it's time to get up and to tell people of Philadelphia that Miranda Otto's birthday is today.
Yes, I think it was in the third film. She plays a princess who disguises herself as a.
So she can fight.
Yes, as a soldier.
Is she not the daughter of the king as well?
I believe that is why she had to hide herself. Because
I have to see that movie again.
You do. They did really good.
How did I come out?
You came out wonderful.
Was I good and heroic?
Of course you were.
Good.
You were eventually you were Gandalf the Grey, and then you became Gandalf the White, and
then Gandalf the Retired.
Everybody's
and finally Gandalf the Mobility Scooter.
She is 54 today. What?
Okay. Just looking at a picture of her, I know her.
Yeah, you know
I
her.
love her.
You know her, Casey?
Yeah, personally. She used to clean my house.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know. He's riffing. He's going.
I'm not riffing.
She really used to clean your house?
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's pretty wild, man. You'd think she'd have some money from Lord of the Rings.
Well, no. I mean, she used to. Now,
Right.
she's,
She's fallen on hard times.
Meteoric rise.
Word has it that she gives handies for fivers.
It was tenor for me.
I wish.
Very popular in the Shire.
Well, the conversion from pounds to dollars.
Okay. Miranda Otto is 54, and she gives handies for $5.
Oh man.
Yep. Kristen Ritter has a birthday today. It's a big one for her. She's 40 years old, so a milestone birthday for her.
When we laugh at stuff like that exchange has just occurred, is a good portion of that laugh the knowledge that we're in the Broadcasting Hall of Fame?
Oh, yeah.
That's the level that got us into the Hall of Fame.
It is. This gentleman is announcing his retirement.
Yes.
And we were all just jumping in going, oh, my God, I can't believe it. You know, and it went on and on and on.
It felt like a tectonic shift.
It did. And but the news is broken now, and we're going to ease into whatever emotions we may have with this gentleman hanging up.
It's like that joke where they say, when the guy says, your mother died. You can't just tell me the news like that. You got to tell me, your mother was on the roof. And,
Right, yeah. He's into
you have
this
to
a little
parse
bit.
it out a bit.
So he's easing into it, and we're sad to hear the news, but looking forward to seeing him for at least the next year.
Yes.
So let's get him on now. Ladies and gentlemen, over 40 years he's been at this. Please welcome Jim Gardner from the on the show. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, well, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna start with saying congratulations to you because retirement is something that I think should be celebrated. When somebody is ready to go ahead and put the career to rest, it's obviously people are not going to be happy about the fact that you're leaving, but still, I think it should be celebrated.
Well, yes, I absolutely agree, and yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to a different life experience, but I've got another year or another 14 months at Channel 6, and I look forward to every day. So it's a bit of a strange experience because there was, a lot of talk yesterday and a lot of emotions yesterday, but meanwhile, I've got another year and
right,
yeah.
On the 6 o'clock news. So, what is it that we're really talking about?
Is that by design to let us, your viewers, down in an easy way, or is this for yourself?
No, yes, it's a way, that I can sort of transition to, a different situation. To tell you the truth, back in 2009, Dave Roberts retired from Channel 6, and this is how he did it. And I remember very clearly that he was working on the 6 o'clock news. He was taking the 11 o'clock news off. So when this whole thing came up a year or so ago with our general manager Bernie Brzezinski, I reverted back to I call it the Dave Roberts model. And I thought it worked very well for Dave. And I think it worked very well for Channel 6. And it was a sort of an easy or a graceful transition that I think benefited both the station and Dave.
It makes complete sense. And I think, obviously, the station is going to want to do things. The city, I'm sure, will want to do things in acknowledgement of this. I think this is a perfect way to do it. You were very sweet in your commentary last night, announcing it. And there is something that happens to people who have schedules, as have we, that are off the 9 to 5 rail. And and you were saying you have had certain things in your life, or have not had certain things in your life for 4+ decades that are quite common for a lot of people. And I thought that was a sweet way to frame it. And I was nodding to my wife because she puts up with an askew schedule, and that it was very very sweet the way you phrased everything.
You're very kind. I look forward to that. I'm not complaining that I haven't had it for 46, 47 years, but it is an opportunity for me to experience a more normal rhythm, a more normal rhythm of life, and to be able to linger over dinner with my wife, would be something I haven't really experienced in my lifetime. And it's something I look forward to.
Jim, can I ask how you approached your team members, your 11 o'clock team members, Cecily and Deuces and the like, and did you call everybody together, or did you do an individual meeting with each?
I didn't, although they've known about it for some time.
Okay.
We've had conversation about that, so it was no surprise to them.
Okay.
But I sent a memo to the staff yesterday, shortly before the station announced that there would be this pullback and a year from now a retirement. I wanted to be the one to just let the staff know that this was happening. Not that I felt that it was such a big deal that I was leaving, but there was going to be a substantial change, and I thought that it was appropriate for everybody to hear it from me. And so I wrote this memo, and shortly thereafter, the station made the announcement. And, today we've got news to cover.
That's the way you approach it, yes.
Jim, this is Nick. We've had an opportunity to chat a couple times about travel that you've had over the last few years when you've come down to Camp Out, and thank you for being a part of Camp Out over the last few years. I'm curious as to what's on top of your bucket list once you have retired of where you're going to go. What are you going to see that you haven't been able to get to yet?
That's interesting. My wife and I were just talking about going on a tour of Scandinavia. My son is taking his second semester of his junior year he's in college, and he's taking his second semester in Copenhagen. So we're going to go to visit him at some point, but it's still going to be chilly there. So I think we're going to put off a tour, until it gets warmer and there is a more leisurely opportunity to really take in that part of the world. So that seems to be number one on our bucket list, and there'll be many more to follow, I believe.
Jim, I was curious if your timing of this, of you finally hanging it up, was so you wouldn't have to go through another election cycle again.
Well, it's funny you say that, because this was supposed to end a number of years ago, actually, and there were two extensions. I asked Bernie if it would be all right if I could extend a couple of times, and not the last time, but the time before that was so that I could be here for the last election cycle. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to very much be present during the Trump phenomenon. I just thought it was an extraordinarily compelling political story, and I am something of a...
The White Duke himself, Mr. Bowie, 93.3 WMR Heroes. It's about 10 minutes after 10 o'clock on this Wednesday morning Preston and Steve radio program. Word of the week prize, $500. We're giving that away courtesy of Paramount Pictures movie Better Man. So we'll get a letter at the end of the show, 2 more, and then it's Friday. And no Sandro, we will give that away. We were looking for caller number 11 to give away the Metallica tickets for Secret Text Word. So let's go over to the phones, and I believe we have Joe, who was caller number 11. Hey, Joe, good morning, bud.
Morning. Hell yeah, I'm going to Metallica.
Well, not yet. You got to give us a secret text word, Bub. What is it?
Oh, sorry. Puppy.
Puppy! That is correct, Joe. Hang on, my man. We'll get your info. We're going to set you up with those tickets Friday, May 23rd as MMR rocks Metallica at the Link with Limp Bizkit and Ice Nine Kills performing as well. Single day tickets for both shows, May 23rd and 25th, will go on sale on Friday at 10 a.m. And we grabbed a random texter on top of that, and it is Carlo Rapacelli from Brookhaven, Pennsylvania. So tickets to see Metallica Friday, May 23rd. Oh, and we are not done yet because Brent Porsche is going to have a pair of tickets for you to win later on today as well.
Very exciting, yes.
So that you tune in for that. All right, lesson question time. We're going to give away for the prize a wrapped up in love diamond necklace from Steven Singer Jewelers.
That sounds good.
Doesn't sound good. All right, so the question I think we have to go with is, what does DBPR stand for? All right? 215-263-WMMR. Call now if you know the answer. What does DBPR stand for? And we first uttered that around 8:10 this morning. Let's see if you know. We will do the trash while you're calling in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, hang on a second. I need a new sponsor.
What happened?
Brought to you this morning by LaSalle University. Advance your career. LaSalle University. You can choose from over 30 graduate and certificate programs. Visit lasalle.edu/grad-open-house to get yourself started. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Jude Law will be playing Vladimir Putin in a new movie called The Wizard of the Kremlin. The story reportedly involves a ruthless autocrat who gets an invitation to attend Hogwarts.
Oh my God.
Britney Spears revealing she evacuated her home early on at the beginning of the Los Angeles fires. Spears admits she might have jumped the gun, especially because she lives in Vancouver. And finally, Brooke Shields promoting a new autobiography, revealing that Tom Cruise eventually did apologize for calling her out years ago after she went to a psychiatrist. Shields says Cruise told her, quote, "Hell, what do I know? I believe space aliens live in volcanoes." And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All righty, we'll see if you do indeed know the answer to this question. What does DBPR stand for? And I am going to go to George, see if he knows the answer. Hey, George. Morning, bud.
Good morning, Preston.
All right, George, you know what DBPR stands for?
I do.
What is it?
Dumb bitch public relations.
That is correct. Yeah, hang on, George. Got it right. And for that, we're going to give you the Wrapped Up in Love diamond necklace from Steven Singer Jewelers. And Steven's Wrapped Up in Love diamond necklace features a braided circle of precious metals and real diamonds wrapped around the heart. You can get it now at IHateStevenSinger.com for just $148.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by Primo Hoagies. Bring friends and family together for the playoffs with the Primo Perfect Spread from Primo Hoagies. You can order delicious catering trays, samplers, platters, and sides at order.primohoagies.com. So rockers are coming together to help Los Angeles. Metallica's charitable foundation, All Within My Hands, has donated $500,000 to relief efforts carried out by the California Community Foundation's Wildfire Recovery Fund and the Pasadena Community Foundation's Eason Canyon Fire Relief and Recovery Fund. Also, the 9th Annual Metal Hall of Fame Gala is doing its part as well and has announced that the 2025 edition of the event will be a fundraising telethon to raise money for families displaced by the Los Angeles wildfires. I wonder if Ozzy will be answering phones during the telethon. Excuse
What?
me? Yeah.
What?
The gala is...
I'll put you down for $2 trillion.
We'll put you down for $2 trillion. The gala is...
Ozzy, you're talking into the stapler.
The gala is coming up next
That's why my voice hurts so much.
Wednesday at the Grand Theater in Anaheim with the aim to help raise money for the victims. Our friends in Coheed and Cambria have released a new single from their upcoming album. It is called The Father of Make Believe. It will be released on March 14th. Not only have they released a video for the single called Someone Who Can, but they've also announced a co-headlining North American tour with Taking Back Sunday. The tour kicks off August 16th in St. Louis. And they, Coheed and Cambria, will be playing Montage Mountain.
Oh, nice. That's right. Yeah.
May 31st. Yeah. And just a reminder that tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m.
There's that concert venue right next to where we are. You can see it. I've never seen it. Did you see inside? It's got to be big.
Oh yeah, they have like festival shows there and stuff. Yeah, it's like kind of down that hill.
Right.
Yeah. So like they've
you can see the wall from where we are.
Casey, I think Peach Fest was
It
there.
is, yeah.
So they've had a lot of pretty big shows there over there, Steve. Yeah.
Nice. The second album from the band Envy of None is on the way in March, and the band already released 2 singles from it, Not Dead Yet and Under the Stars. Whether you know that band or not, you definitely know the guitarist, former Rush guitarist Alex Lifeson. In fact, we had a chance to talk to him about that first album when it came out, so I wouldn't mind talking to him again if possible.
Did you hear any of them? Have you heard any of the music?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It sounds nothing like Rush whatsoever.
Right.
They have a female lead singer. It's, cool, straight ahead kind of rock.
Yeah.
But it's, not indicative of anything out of the Rush camp. But I'm just happy that Alex is playing and he's found some people to make music with. The group's 2022 self-titled debut caught a lot of attention. And this one looks to make a splash as well. The record is going to be released March 14th in various formats, including color vinyl, black vinyl, CD, Blu-ray, digitally, and a special deluxe edition box.
I like seeing them do other things. I was watching a video last night, Preston. I'm sure you've seen it, I'm sure. Geddy Lee playing bass on Roundabout when they inducted Yes into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
So cool.
It's amazing.
Agreed. All right, and then one last thing. I thought this was kind of interesting. The band Four Non-Blondes is set to reunite, and they're going to do it at the Bottle Rock Napa Valley 2025 show in May. And this will be the first time in 3 decades that they have actually gotten back together.
And they specifically requested that they be brought on stage by the Haktua girl.
Oh, won't that be a nice introduction? No, they did perform at a concert fundraiser in 2014, and Linda Perry performed a duet of the hit What's Up in 2023 with Dolly Parton. But speaking about wanting to reunite, she said, I want 2025 to be my year. I've been planting seeds all over the place, and I'm watching my little trees grow. I've told the universe I want this to happen.
I like them. A lot of people, they caught a lot of crap.
Yep.
But I think they're
only know
fine.
I only know What's Up. I only know that song.
Who Dat?
What's Up? Who Dat? Were you looking at?
Yeah.
All those.
Whoever smelled it, dealt it.
You know what's weird about What's Up is like it's become like a stadium anthem.
Yeah.
You'll hear it at sporting events and like people sing along to it. And like people love that song 30 some years later.
If you got a real hooky sing-along chorus, you can throw it on in a stadium and it'll be a hit.
It's a great way for a stadium to proclaim a general sense of confusion. Right?
What's going on? I don't know.
The hell's going on?
How am I supposed to know?
Sounds like a pretty easy guitar song to play. I'm going to look this up on my guitar tabs thing.
All right.
See if I can learn the first 30 seconds and then give up on it.
No, you're not going to go learn it all the way through.
Come on, do it.
Dude, I've never...
Preston, play it on the flutophone.
Yeah.
Man, I don't have a flutophone.
You can do it.
I have a recorder.
Oh, do we have the recorder? Yeah.
Nope.
How do you do that? How do you just pick it right up like that? Take it, Kathy.
Play it with my nose?
Yeah. Go ahead, Casey, on guitar.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Casey's going to... Oh, I have accompaniment.
Dude, this is a little out of tune.
It sounds great.
I'm going to play it out of tune. I can't do it.
Wait. Start the song
25
over.
years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination.
Now you guys play. Oh, you mean that's not the real song?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I need to tune this bad boy.
Okay. That'll make all the difference.
Yeah, all the difference.
You could be on tour with them. 5 non-blondes.
So the Bottle Rock Napa Valley Festival is set for May 23rd through May 25th. So it is indeed a reunion, first time in 30 years.
Well, you don't need it now. You just saw the reunion.
You heard it.
Yeah.
You heard something even better. All right, that's all I have in music news, but we have one more thing to chat about. Oh, song's still playing. One more thing to chat about. One of our interns is leaving us. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we lose intern Lily Burke. She will no longer be with us. Lily.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Oh, I'm so sad to be leaving. I have so much fun here.
Have you had fun?
So much fun.
All right.
And I got to learn so much, so.
All right, that's
double,
cool.
Double.
And listen, some people come here with an idea of one thing they may want to do for a career and try this out, but it looks like you're a media and culture major, and you have a journalism minor.
Correct.
So you definitely want to be in the media world, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
You want to get into, you were talking, you want to be into production now. You've seen the production side.
Yeah.
You want to be doing that, correct?
Yeah, so that's my concentration. And that's partially why I love it here so much is that I'm behind the scenes helping you guys do what you do. And Marissa's been a great mentor for me, and Sam and Grace as well. So.
And you go to Kathy's alma mater.
Yes, I want to thank Kathy. She was the person that kind of introduced me to get this gig with you guys. She came and guest spoke for one of my classes, and spoke with her after, and then here I am.
Look at that, changing lives.
That
And
was
so-
Dr. Thompson's class,
Dr.
right?
T, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you've also done some on-mic stuff, right?
Yeah, so I have my own show with Westchester's radio station, WCUR. It's called Figuring It Out. And this semester I'll have my show on Sundays at noon.
Okay.
What is it?
What is it? Yeah. What do you do?
I do whatever I want. Usually I just play music, but if I really feel excited to, talk about whatever, I bring friends on. We do silly games.
Formica, what's that about?
Yeah, sports and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And also, it says here you're a huge. This was your little info sheet that you filled out for us when you first started working here. A huge advocate and enthusiast for women in sports media.
Correct. yes.
Explain a little bit about that.
So I think I mean, I guess it's different in the Philadelphia media climate. Like we see Taryn Hatcher and all the women sportscasters. So
it's an unfair uphill battle.
Yes, you said it perfectly, Casey.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I really look up to Taryn Hatcher, because she's like doing all these
she's
things.
doing it. Yeah,
she's doing it. And one thing that kind of bothered me recently was I was watching the baseball playoffs, and I never saw one female sportscaster.
Right.
At least I was watching the Fox coverage, so not one female sports.
So, now is that off your radar now about you potentially doing you want to, or
I'll hop in there.
There you go.
I'll be the first.
All right.
I don't want to. I don't want to be on camera though.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with being like talent, but
Yeah.
I really, really love doing the podcast.
I've been trying for months to get Jessica. Oh my gosh, I can't remember her last name, but she's the first female NHL coach on either this show or my Her Story show. I have a connection with her, somebody that works with her. So I'm still trying, but if you're a female in sports, I mean, they're looking for females.
Yeah.
So
You can carry on the
that
legacy.
I know you say that it's unfair, but like you should take that route. I'm encouraging you to take that route because they do look for females in the sports industry.
Yeah, and it is unfair, but I'm willing to take that head on because there's got to be somebody to change people's minds.
Well, Kathy's the first female in radio.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people know that.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I'm way too young to be the first female in radio, so you shut your mouth, okay?
What year are
She
you
did a show with Charlie McCarthy
in school, Lily?
So I am in my third year at Westchester, but I'm graduating this semester, this spring semester.
Oh, really?
All right.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Lives in the same apartment complex as my son, Carter.
That's cool. What do they call it?
The Edge.
The
Well,
Edge.
I don't know if you wanted me to say that or not, but
Or your son. Come visit me, guys.
All of you two lives there.
no, not from you two, not the Edge. But no, because Carter goes to Westchester as well.
Yeah,
you
look at this.
Maybe we'll run into each other. I don't know. Well, listen, Lily, we wish you the best. You've been a great intern. We appreciate all your help.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for this opportunity and making me laugh every single day I come in.
We appreciate it.
Lily Burke, we wish you well.
Yeah.
Another one flies the coop. We send them on their way.
Rips your heart out.
It does. All right, we are taking a break. We're coming back to wrap up the show. Letter of the day, word of the week prize. We'll have it when we get back, so make sure you stay put.
Preston and Steve.
Nerd. And, you can say what you want about your personal feelings or your political preferences, but from a journalistic standpoint, obviously the whole Trump era, and who knows if it's over or not, has been just extraordinarily compelling, and I wanted to take part in that.
Okay.
And then the second extension was, in the formative stages of the pandemic, and I just felt very strongly that I wanted to be here for that story. It was, and continues to be a unique story that really covers every facet of, our human endeavor. It's on one level, it's very personal. On another level, it's very societal. We go from a story of people's fears and anxieties, fears about their own health, and whether they're going to, escape the fate of hundreds of thousands of their countrymen. And on the other hand, it's, an extraordinary public health story. It's a story where people are hoping that this economic crisis doesn't affect them. People have lost their jobs. People have, suffered real economic dislocation. On the other hand, it is an extraordinary economic story on a national and worldwide level. So, there's so many different aspects to it that really touch all of our lives, and I just wanted to be here for that. And, the story continues to unfold.
There's a scene in the great the Patty Chayefsky movie Network where the William Holden is talking about his plans, and he goes he's gonna I'm gonna write a book. He goes, everybody writes a book. But I honestly would say I would love to read a book about your life. Yeah. If you, if that's in the works, you talk about being a political junkie. I am as well. And, I'd love to, get some insight over your many decades dealing with everything as it has progressed.
Well, you may have to wait a while.
That's okay.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Just include a lot of pictures because I'm not very smart.
It's funny. I had a very, very nice email from Bob Iger, who's the former CEO of the Disney company. He's still, I think, chairman of the board, and he was very, very generous with some of the things he said. But I recall talking to him at a Disney dinner in New York, and it was shortly after wrote his book, which was very, very good and very informative, and I really enjoyed writing it. But I had the occasion to say, "Hey, I read your book." He said, "Here's some advice, Jim. Never write a book." He said it was easily one of the most difficult and arduous tasks of my life, and my advice to you would be, don't do it.
Okay.
So,
Well, we don't want to cause undue stress. If it's something that floats your boat later on, yes, you would definitely. I would definitely purchase a copy. That's all I'm saying. I also want to say, and we were talking about this earlier, is that listen, the same way we have Pierre Robert here at the station, who is an icon in rock radio, and
his 40th year is this month,
and we were saying you are. There is, having lived in different markets, there is none smoother than you and more competent on the air. I mean, you're
the best I've ever seen.
The best we've ever seen.
Yeah,
so,
and he's the standard that I hold everybody else up to. So
Right.
whenever I travel to another city and I'm in that hotel and I turn on the local newscast, I'm like, not Jim Gardner.
ain't happening.
Nope.
Yeah. So does that create an extra onus and weight on you as you depart, or is it how do you? Or, I assume you're not walking around with the "I'm number one" T-shirt on and all that stuff. So how do you process all this?
it's. I have always thought that 85-90% of my job takes place in the newsroom, not in the studio. And I've always felt very strongly about that. I think probably there are some people in this business who see it the other way around, where they identify most of their, their work and what they're being paid for is the actual newscast.
Yeah.
And that may well be. I've just never identified things that way. I work very closely with producers, and I'm very, very engaged. Some would say too engaged in the evolution of every newscast. And so what happens in the studio is almost like putting a period at the end of a task that to me takes place elsewhere. I have never thought that I was, and I'm not being falsely humble. I've never thought that I was particularly skilled as an on-air anchor person. I've never spent much time trying to cultivate, a presence, a personality. I just read the news.
Yeah.
And maybe that serves me well. I don't know, but I've often, or most often, thought that my work in the studio was left a lot to be desired, and certainly wasn't as developed as my work in the newsroom. So, if you guys think that I've done a good job in that part of my job, then I'm grateful. But I've never seen it that way.
Right.
Oh, I absolutely, and I think part of what it is, I absolutely think that, but I think it's your delivery and the comfort that you give to your viewers. Whatever, is happening in this world, and whatever your, information that you're imparting to us, it's you deliver it in a way that makes us feel comfortable and that it's going to be okay. I mean, at least that's what I experienced when I watched Jim.
I appreciate that. That's terrific, and I'm glad that you feel that way. It's never my intention to make a news story more comforting than it deserves to be. Unfortunately, or whatever, the reality is that we're talking in the news business mostly about difficult subjects.
Yes.
And
yes.
Oftentimes, unpleasant stories. And I don't know that it's an anchorman's job to reach out and hold the hand of an audience to make them feel better. But if there's a certain, what I think it is, and forgive me, I'm perhaps making conclusions here that I have no right to make. But I think if an anchor person has a sense of empathy, in addition to, being a reasonably smart man or woman and having good writing skills and being...
I love that ending.
We were responsible for having that added back on, were we not?
This is true. Yeah, it's Better Than Ezra and the song Good on MMR. And when we first came here to MMR, 20 years ago, that song, they had edited out the, yeah, that's right. At the end, we're like, oh.
You got to add that.
You got to put that back in. And then we had Better Than Ezra in the studio one time, and they told us the story of that. I'll share this one more time. I know I've told it on the air before, but they were playing at the Viper Room in Los Angeles. They saw a band that was playing at the Viper Room. And they were like kind of a pseudo, I guess, like metal band.
Yeah.
And at the end of every song, this long-haired guy, their song would end, and he would just go, yeah, that's right. And
every time.
They thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And so therefore, they decided to put it into their own song, which I think is brilliant. We would like to thank our guest who stopped by this morning. It was Mr. Jordan Markus.
Yeah.
And he plays Michael Jackson in MJ the Musical, which is now through the 19th at the Academy of Music, ensembleartsphilly.org. He was a super nice guy, and clearly you can tell he's insanely talented.
Yeah, you'd have to be to do, one tenth of what he does on stage.
Yeah, and singing and dancing, doing all of that stuff. So it was cool having him stop by this morning. Before we move on to anything else, I want to reiterate an announcement we made. Two announcements this morning. Number one, the fact that the Cardboard Classic sled registration is now up and running. So if you've desired to be a part of this or you've done it in the past and you know what to do, you can officially enter for that now. One of the things you want to move quickly on is the fastest category. That's for solo riders only, and we are only available to have 25 total for that category. So if you're interested in doing that, signing up for it, it's $500 for the fastest. It's a pretty sweet deal.
And I believe we're racing 2 at a time, right? This time around?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, yeah. And
there's 2 of them.
$1,000 for best design, another $500 for our favorite fail, courtesy of Pro Team Collision. But you can now get registered for that and keep around. Right after we get done with the sledding, Mountain Fest kicks off, and the world's largest 80s party is happening.
Yeah.
With this group, the M80s, it's a tribute to MTV, and that's free to attend, so it'll segue right into that when we're done with the Cardboard Classic. And then Mountain Fest is the next day. Tonic and Better Than Ezra. Speaking of, we just played Better Than Ezra. They are performing. Plus, there's pond skimming, fireworks. Live ticket is a concert ticket for that event. VIP seats are on sale now.
Nick, what is this Better Than Ezra?
This is one of Steve and my favorite clips of all time. This is Norm Macdonald talking about Better Than Ezra in the 90s, and it's self-contained.
Okay. And in music news, number 1 on the college charts this summer was Better Than Ezra. And at number 2, Ezra.
That's it.
So they're performing there. WMMR.com has the sled registration and tickets and photos from last year. If you've never done it before, you can get an idea of what it's all about. And the other announcement we made is on Friday, Kathy has a new list of activities. Bonus activities.
Scooby.
It is Scooby activities. No, they are seasonal depression activities.
Yes.
Kathy Ramon.
Seasonal depression activities.
So we will get that on Friday to brighten up your world. So we'll
Sun
see
says after 5 o'clock today.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Pierre Robert is here. How you doing?
Almost summertime.
Nice to see you, Scoob. How are you?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Wonderful.
Getting ready for Keenan's broadcast this weekend.
Absolutely.
Let's get ready for that.
It's time. I'm good, thank you. It's a little nippy out, but it is that time, so it should be nippy.
Nippy's in the air.
Nippy is in the air. I knew Nippy. I work with Nippy, and you, sir, are no Nippy.
And because of that, Nippy lost the presidential election.
Exactly.
Would you like to give us a letter for the letter of the day?
What?
Yeah.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the President and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter.
L as in letter.
All right, that's perfect. We will give away our Word of the Week prize on Friday, and we have $500, and that's courtesy of Paramount Pictures' Better Man, the true story of Robbie Williams. Better Man's based on the true story of a meteoric rise, dramatic fall, and remarkable resurgence of British pop superstar Robbie Williams, one of the greatest entertainers of all time, and it's in theaters everywhere now from Paramount Pictures. All right, you got a few hours. What you going to do?
Well, in those hours, we'll get to a block of Tool. That should take up the whole program, actually. It's Adam Jones' birthday today. He's 60, so we'll get to a block of Tool. We've got a block of the Cars, and I've been thinking about this for a while. I have a couple of requests for songs that pertain to the madness and the sadness of the fires in L.A., so we do some songs that are near. There's a rock and roll song for every occasion.
There is.
And I thought we'd do some California songs, or a great number of California songs, and some maybe L.A. songs, and a few things interspersed to just honor those folks and wish them well.
What if you could do almost like a rain dance, all rain songs to try to bring rain? And, I don't know.
I tried to do that once for one of the sports teams. It fell flat.
Didn't work.
We were in the super gadget of some kind. I don't know. Super baseball, Super Bowl, Super basket. I don't know what the hell we were in.
The super basket.
But we were ready on the super basket, and I said, I'm going to play some victory songs and upbeat. I did the whole goddamn thing, and they fell flat on their basket.
You mean that didn't work?
It didn't work. So the rain thing is a nice idea, Presbo. But
you mean they still have to play the game?
They still have got to play the damn game.
That's not right.
Hell of a game.
Hell of a game. All right. Well, hang out with Pierre today. You shall not be disappointed. I would like to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you by Dungan, and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dungan. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Primo Hoagies. Bring friends and family together for the playoffs with a Primo Perfect Spread at order.primohoagies.com. Tomorrow on our program, Michael Barkan.
Yes,
Checking
great.
in. Obviously, we've got the Birds this weekend and so on. So, and we'll also talk to him about, the potential for the Sixers and the stadium and what all that means. So we'll dive into all that with Michael. We're also going to have actress Taylor Misyak and writer-director Tony Yacenda. And they're promoting, what is it called?
She's promoting the new show on Fox about going Dutch. And they are married. So Tony's from our area. He grew up, he did that, the show about the D's a few years ago.
American Vandal.
Yeah. And so he's a great guy and grew up listening to Preston, Steve, and Omar. They got married last year, and she was on Dave, starring Lil Dicky, and now she's on this show. So they're both coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, the Dennis Leary show.
Yeah.
And also, our buddy Nick Murphy is coming by for this cool little thing that we'll share with you tomorrow. So that's it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, friend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.